All right. Big Blue Crew, what it do? True Big Blue Podcast episode. I don't know what it is. I just said 60. Yeah, just to be honest with you, man. We done did so many of these. It's ridiculous, man. But I will say this to begin this stream. If you didn't go check out Giants with Friends on Hit Squad's channel,
Yes.
Hit Squad Productions, go check out that live stream. That live stream was absolutely dope. Had some great pointers on there. We had fun on there. And I guess you could just cap off your night with the Big Blue Crew, the True Big Blue Podcast, to see just go over a couple little things today. We're going to talk a little bit about Giants all season, the free agency, the draft, who we should cut, who we should keep. And first things first, man, introduce my co-host, Luke Giants Inside Sports supposed to be here as well. He'll be here shortly. Classified with Joe. Hopefully Zion Zenith and Hit Squad can join a little later. But for right now, we're gonna go with us. Classified 3F with Joe. Give me your vision of your offseason. And speaking of Lord of Roadhead, G Nation Inside Sports is in the building. I was just asking Joe what would he do this offseason if he was Joe Shane? If you were Joe Shane after hiring Brian Dable, Wink Martindale, Kafka, all the guys on the coaching staff, you've pushed a couple of old Gettleman guys out of office, you're bringing in your own scouting team. What do you think that he does this offseason as far as going into the offseason?
I think he starts looking for the best free agent offensive lineman available. Because as we've all discussed numerous times, you're not going to go out and draft 5 rookie linemen and expect them to be the answer, right? So he's probably scouting a lot of free agents that are contracts are coming up, or who he can possibly persuade to come over and try their hat at the New York Giants organization. Probably players from old teams or players that he might have gotten familiar with throughout his years in the league. But I believe that he's finalizing the draft and then moving on to free agency. Even though free agency is first, he already said that he had the first 4 rounds of the draft figured out. So I'm assuming that from that time that he made that statement to now, he's figured out the last 3 rounds after that. And now he's probably focused on free agency.
Yeah,
that is true.
I agree, Lou, but he's got to get the talent evaluators in there that he wants.
The what?
The talent evaluators that he wants.
Danny.
In order to get the right O lineman in here, you got to have the right pieces to find the talent. You got to have the people that are on the same page. So, he's probably looking, we did sign a Proles boy there at wide receiver.
What's up, Bone?
He was a practice squad guy for a while. We did get a punter. We did have a tackle that we were looking at. I don't believe we signed him yet. He's going to make some really inexpensive moves. We got 4 quarterbacks on the roster right now. So, does Mitchell Trubisky come over and make that 5? Because he knows that having a quality backup is going to definitely be mandatory. But in order to find the right talent for the offensive lineman in this free agency draft, to really understand what it is that Dabo wants to do, what the OC wants to do, and does that offensive lineman in free agency, is he going to match up with the blocking scheme that our new offensive line coach wants to have the guys do? So there's a little bit more to it, but I do like your thinking, though, with getting talent. But
I just want to touch on the Davis Webb situation.
YG.
Because when we drafted Davis Webb, them preseason games, to me, he looked better than Kyle Lauletta. And we ended up keeping Kyle Lauletta and letting Davis Webb go. I think Davis Webb could be that good backup. I'm not saying he's a starter. I'm saying I think he could be that good backup and possibly threaten DJ in a sense to where DJ might want to step his game up. I'm not saying he's better than DJ, but he might give DJ a feeling like, wait a minute, this is the guy they drafted before me, and now they're bringing him back. I might need to tighten up a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That could
On that note, I'm sorry, Joe.
No, you're fine.
But on that note right there, yeah, I do. What's going on, Rodney? I'm gonna be honest with you. I think he can, because remember, he was on the practice squad with the Bills, so he's been in tune with the system. He's been playing in the system with Brian Daboll. I think Daboll trusts him. I think that's why he was brought over, because maybe Mitchell Trubisky prices himself out from the Giants, because I don't think they're willing to give Trubisky $8 to $10 million a year to be a backup. So I think that's why he was brought over. He's a way cheaper option, and I'm just gonna say it right now, he's way better option than Fromm. It was the reason why Fromm was on the practice squad.
And Glennon.
Yeah, and Glennon. So, and I think he could push Daniel Jones just a tad bit. I think he could push him just a tad bit, to be honest with you. What's going on, Vance? Todd said it too. Todd said he's better than Glennon. So I think he really could do that. I actually think that was a pretty good move to bring him in, because if you could get a backup quarterback on damn near veteran minimum, why not?
Right.
But just to bring this back around, you fuckers thought I was gonna be late. I was here at 9:30. Yeah.
You weren't here no damn 9:30.
I was here at 9:30. You kept me backstage for 39 seconds.
Get out of here.
Mac, what's good, Mac?
What's going on, NYG22? He says, don't think Davis Webb would be a threat to Daniel Jones, and I don't like Jones, but Webb ain't the backup the Giants need. They need real competition if they're going to keep Jones. That's a very fair assessment.
We might not keep Jones, Mac. That's something we might need to get our head wrapped around. He might just be a stopgap quarterback this year.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Or unless you're just talking about just this year. Because that's what me, Lou, and Joel have been saying. He's the best stopgap option quarterback that we have. I'm not saying that he's going to be the quarterback of the future. I think that's where we get a little bit out of sorts right there, NYG22. I'm not talking about Daniel Jones being here past 2022. I say this is his year to prove that he can be on this roster. Do I want him to get a fair shake with the offensive line in front of him to see what he can do? Yes, I do. But that does not mean that I'm saying he's the quarterback of the future. I hope you don't believe that, bro.
Nah, that's not what none of us are saying. We hope that he could be, since we drafted him so high.
Right.
But so far, we've been let down. But on the same note, you know, the kid hasn't had an offensive line that was worth a fuck.
Or a receiving core that was worth a fuck.
So we just want to see. So we just want to see what he looks like with a good offensive line, at least a decent offensive line, and a good play scheme. That's all. While we have him for the cheap, because none of these quarterbacks coming out,
Mac,
is you know.
Robert says the same thing.
What's going on, Mac? What's going on, Rob? He says, how do you know how good or bad Jones is? Man has no O-line. Most of his receivers either disappeared or dropped the ball.
Yeah.
Another good point.
Tosh, he says he can kind of push Jones a bit. Yeah, he can push him just a little bit. I'm not saying that this is the guy that's going to push him, but no. I think he can push him just a little bit.
I tell you what, Davis Webb sat behind Eli for a whole year. So think about that shit. He learned some shit under Eli.
All right.
But I just want to hear your guys' offseason plans. Lou, you got started a little bit with it. Joe, you got started a little bit with it. I'm gonna let you guys just give your plans.
You about to go get a bunch of defensive dogs, some linebackers, some edge rushers, some motherfuckers is gonna be in the quarterback face like, you know what I'm saying? It's about to get serious.
Joe, what's your full offseason plan that you would do for the Giants? What's going on, Danny? He says, guys, I think there are 5 elite talents in the draft, 2 O-line, 2 edge, and 1 safety. What's going to happen at 5 when the only guy left for us is the safety? Now what we do? Cross, come on, man.
No, we trade back that number 5
either
pick.
We trade back or they take who they feel is the best right there.
And I tell you, in particular,
Adam,
thinking, Danny Malda or Maida, is that an I or L? I can't see it.
It's Maida.
Danny Maida.
M-A-I-D-A.
I believe that we should trade the number 5 pick to possibly number 9. And I believe that we should trade the number 7 pick to like 12, between 12 and 15, anywhere in between that range, and get some more draft capital for this draft and at least another first round pick for next year's draft. And in doing so, we should be able to get 2 offensive linemen and 2 edge rushers, or a linebacker and an edge rusher within the first 2 rounds of the draft. We should come away with 4 immense players and have 2 first round picks for next year. So in my opinion, you trade back the number 5 pick to like number 9. You trade back the number 7 to like number 12, 13 somewhere, right? You use that draft capital to build your O-line and your defensive front this year. You run with DJ as your stopgap quarterback with a decent line and a decent play scheme. And if he shows upside, then you work out something. If he falls on his face, then you know you got 2 first-round picks to go get the quarterback that you need for this team next year, and you bring him into a much improved situation with foundational pieces on the O-line and a strong defensive front.
Only if you get the value in picks. If you don't get the value in picks for the 5 and the 7, then what do you do?
I mean, you take best available in my idea, but Joe...
And he said who would be gone at that point at 5?
He said, what if we get stuck with the
everybody
safety?
is gone. Both Hutchinson, Thibodeau, Iquanu, and Neal go 1, 2, 3, 4. And so the only thing that's left is the safety.
I'm taking Karlaftis. I think Karlaftis is better than...
Yeah.
I take Karlaftis at 5.
Let me get to this question real quick. He says, question, what would Jones have to do to convince you that he's the answer? Basically, what does his 2022 have to look like for you to want to move forward?
We'd have to go for him to prove that he's the answer. No questions about looking at him next year after that. Like for him to prove that he's the answer this year, we'd have to go 11-6. He'd have to have like 29 plus touchdowns and less than 10 interceptions. And we'd have to
Joe,
be in the playoff
hunt. Thought on that? What's your thought on that?
Hunt, we'd have to be in the playoffs, 11-6 in the playoffs with at least 29 to 30 touchdowns or more and less than 10 interceptions. If he can do that shit, then I'm convinced he's the answer. If he comes out here and fumbles the first 3 fucking games and starts throwing picks everywhere and locking on one target, then I'm going to be saying what everybody was saying about Joe Judge last year, this year about Danny Dimes, which I like to call him. I call him Daniel Jones.
What you think, Joe? What would he have to prove to convince you that he's the QB past 2022?
Is there really a logical way you can just throw stats at this question and expect that to be leave it to analytics as to whether or not he's the guy moving forward or not? Can you really leave it to the analytics?
The analytics is at least 11 wins. You give me 11 wins.
Hey, now.
I think you're a fucking great NFL quarterback. You get 11 wins.
Let Joe answer.
I'm answering the question here now. Lou's all fired up tonight. This could be a great stream. This could be a great stream. I'm going to get
fired up.
I haven't even brought up Barkley yet. I know that one got him. You Joel, you son of a bitch. Yeah, I got it. Look, can you look? If we're starting 3 rookie offensive linemen, okay, what wide receivers are going to be here next year? Huh?
I said 2 offensive linemen and 2.
No, he's saying in his mind, probably 3 rookie offensive linemen would be starting. He's not saying that you said that. He's saying that's what probably would happen.
Because we're going to have 5 offensive linemen that have never played together.
Sorry. Before he gives his take, highlight that comment, please. The guy who asked the question gave a response to my answer.
He's doing well.
Danny Maida.
Oh, he says, I totally agree with your plan. Got to trade back. Just hope someone wants to come up for a QB. The QB's got to ball out at the combine. That's true.
We've had that argument for how many weeks? Months.
But I really want to hear your take on NYG's question.
To you, Joe.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, you got if the draft goes the way that a lot of the way these people want it, you're going to have 3 rookie offensive linemen, and you're going to have 5 offensive linemen that have never played a snap. Okay, look at how complicated we broke down Wink Martindale's defense was.
Thank you, King Tom.
You're expecting 3 rookies to give Daniel Jones the protection for the first 4 to 6 weeks? How can that be realistic? Let's look at how bad the Chiefs were the first 6 weeks of their season last year. They were 2-4. They were below 500 because the offensive line never worked. Then they started to gel. Then they started working together, and then Mahomes was able to do his thing. All right, that's with a pre-bought offensive line that had not played before, and those were all experienced veterans. Those were all free agents, no college, but maybe one college. But that's the point is we're going to have 3 rookies if we don't bring in some free agents here that can handle these guys and challenge them for a starting job. Then maybe halfway through the season, you're going to rotate them. Let's look at the wide receiving core. Who is Daniel Jones going to really have a connection with? Everyone wants to trade Shepard. People want to trade Slayton. People want to get rid of Riggs. The tight end's even worse. What tight end is going to be on this team that Daniel Jones has any we can't say anybody that is on the offense is even going to be on this team. And not to piss off Lou, that includes Barkley. We don't even know if he's going to be there until free agency, the draft. Then we're going to know what the team is about. We're going to start bringing in players. We're going to be seeing who's let go. So this offense could have 10 new people on it.
In the chat. Thank you.
9 new people on the whole offense. New wide receiving core, new offensive line, new running backs, new tight ends. These guys all have to figure out a time to work together. And let's not forget this COVID thing is still going on. You notice how there was no COVID positive tests during the playoffs of the Super Bowl, but that don't mean shit in preseason because they might just start throwing that. And then if there's no offseason, if there's no pre-games again, because last year was Judge's only year with a preseason where he actually knew what he had. The year before, it was all virtual meetings. That takes a lot on a coach. It takes a toll on the players. Not being out there, not being with your teammates, not being on the field, not practicing. It makes it hard, especially for rookies. And look at all the rookies we got. We got 9 draft picks. Everyone says, oh, we got 9 draft picks. That's 9 rookies. And then if we trade and get some more picks this year and the following year, that's 10, 11 rookies. So you guys are, how many 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th round rookies actually make it through a season that aren't traded halfway through? That don't wind up on IR, that get hurt because their bodies aren't in shape yet. How can you put a rookie through all of that? Well, he's a 1st-round pick. Well, we could go back through all the previous drafts. 50% of those guys played. 50% of those guys didn't. How many 1st-round picks were we saying that we had because of draft capital because they didn't work out on other teams? We had that wide receiver from the Browns. He was a 1st-round pick. We had an offensive lineman, Sakura. Wasn't he a 2nd-rounder?
No, I don't know if Sakura was a 2nd rounder.
Didn't we have another guy that was Isaiah Wilson? He was a 1st-round pick. Okay.
He was a moron.
We were all fucking hoping for him. What happened? Right down the shitter. 1st-round pick, 3rd chance. Couldn't do it. You guys wanted to run with Matt Pert, a 3rd-round pick last year. Oh, he could do the job. Yeah, I got confidence in him. Couldn't beat out Nate Solder. But, Joel, this is a different regime. Remember, you guys are saying it's a different regime.
Tim, what's going on?
But it's got to work. It's got to work through the whole conversations. It's got to work through all the conversations.
And yes, Billy Price was a 1st-rounder, Tim. Well, Joe,
yeah.
I'll say this. Let me answer this question by Justin Haley because I think he's new. I haven't seen him. What's going on, Justin? Thank you for tuning in with the Big Blue Crew. He says, do you think if we had that many rookies, it would be really worse than last year? I'll answer that one. Yes and no. I'll say no because the line last year was so bad that it really shouldn't get any worse. But then there's always two sides to a coin. They're
Right.
rookies. They have to learn. So it could get worse the first couple of weeks until they gel. But throughout the whole season, I don't think it really could get that much worse with three rookies on the line. But we will see.
Right.
Now, this is why I love NYG22. Let me go back into his comments because I want to be fair to him also because he has a great point as well.
Right.
He says, yes, Joe, stats matter. Same stats that made you think Jones was a top 5 QB in the first couple of games of the season. And don't start with the excuses. Hold on before you respond, Joe. Here goes with the excuses. He says, what the hell you want to bring him back for if you're just going to make more excuses for Jones? Like, come on, at Joe. Joe making excuses for the man before the season even starts. I agree with both you guys. The reason why I agree with both you guys, no matter how you feel about a certain person, you still got to give them the benefit of the doubt when all factors come into it.
Oh,
yes,
what the fuck are we talking about?
I mean, yes, Daniel Jones has not shown that he's the guy for the first 3 years of his career. Yes, Daniel Jones needs to work on a lot of things. And also, yes, there's been a lot of factors that goes into why he hasn't performed all these past 3 years. So what I have to say on that is if Daniel Jones comes out and bombs, even though he has a rookie offensive line, let's say is Andrew Thomas, 3 rookies and 1 veteran. So 2 veterans and 3 rookies. If he bombs, I know you love the kid, Joel, but you still have to get rid of him.
I'm not saying that not to.
You see what I'm saying? Because then it does start turning into excuses. You see what I'm saying? 4 years. I can't get with that. 4 years of 10 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, or 10 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 3 fumbles. It's just time to move on because now it's to a point where both sides need a break from each other. There needs to be a divorce. So NYG22, you're totally right in my eyes on that. And I don't think Joel is saying that you keep him if he bombs anyway. He's just telling you the factors of the reason why he would bomb. But if he bombs again, he has to go in my eyes. Truly. I truly understand both sides of that. So
if he bombs again, he got to go.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Jones, though, and it's not about stats for me. It's about what I see
but Joe,
in his traits.
That's hard to take from you when you were the guy for the last 3 days saying he had a 90% QBR for the first 6 weeks. You can't then turn around and say, well, I'm not looking at the stats for Jones.
Look, okay. Sorry for the dead air. I'm trying to think.
No, you're good.
Look, Jones had a 90 QBR. And the reason I bring that up is because everyone says he sucks. Okay? So with Jones having a 90 QBR, I'm sorry, before his left tackle goes down, before the one guy on the offensive line he had any confidence in, who had to have ankle surgery again this year, and then his stats went down.
Yes, Tim.
What I'm saying is he doesn't need the best. But for me, it's more about the play on the field. Because I've seen it in the chat. People are bringing up, look at the drops that Ingram and Shepard and Slayton, they all had on him, okay? So when I look at a stat of a 60% completion rating, and I'm looking at players like Ingram, who can't catch a goddamn cold if he wanted to. I'm looking at players like Shepard, who are on the field. I'm looking at players like Galladay, who are giving up. I'm looking at players like Slayton, who gets hurt sneezing. I'm looking at a running back that gets hurt. We've said it on this stream multiple times. He had none of his weapons. So how are you going to put stats on a guy next year if that shit rolls over again? He has no wide receivers. Barkley's injured again. He's got tight ends that can't catch the goddamn ball. We've got wide receivers that don't know how to sit into a zone. He's got a right tackle that's letting guys blow by him.
Be careful with that last sentence.
What?
No, you see, he called Ash the anointed one. I mean,
oh,
I'm a little bit on that too. Don't
You
like
know,
to
that's
call people
that's the name
prophets
of
and
Christ. Yeah.
Mhm. I don't like to do that, but I know what you mean. We're all
right.
I know
what you mean. That's
You're
his
not
that's
trying
his
to-
Game of Thrones name, Ashington,
Yeah.
Duke of Ash.
So I'm careful with that too, but it's nothing about that, man. I'm just careful with what I call because I don't want to be blasphemous.
Right.
That's why
I was
I'm
telling
careful
him
with
to
that.
be careful with that word
Right.
because you know.
But I'm not
But-
saying not to get a new QB in 2023. Didn't I say that earlier this year? Wasn't
Well,
I saying trade down?
Yeah, let me answer this because this is a touchy subject, and I see it's a touchy subject in the chat between Big Rob and Big NYG22. He says, "My man, Big Pat, if NYG22 was an artist, he had no brushes or canvas. What kind of picture is he going to paint? Come on, man, you're absolutely right. He's not going to be able to paint a damn thing if he has no paint. He has no paintbrushes and no canvas. But let me say this." This is where NYG coming from. At least this is where I think he's coming from. I'm not
I see
speaking
exactly
for the
where
man.
you're going. Yeah.
I'm not speaking for the man. NYG, you know, you speak for your damn self. But what I'm thinking where NYG is coming from is how many times are we going to accept that as an excuse for him not to be able to produce a painting? How many times are we're going to ask him, do you have my painting ready? He keeps saying, well, I don't have any brushes or no canvas. I don't have
in the real
any
world. Are you
going
to keep hiring this guy to paint your houses?
I don't have any brushes or no canvas. I don't have any brushes or no canvas. The first two times you're gonna be like, okay, that's cool. But then you come back again and he's like, well, I don't have any brushes or no canvas. Well, you know what? I'm gonna get somebody who can get me some brushes and a canvas. That's where I think NYG22 is coming from. And I will say, neither one of you guys are wrong. There are times when both sides can be right about something.
Right. I agree 100%. But you know what? Let's look at it another factor too, though, Pat, because everyone brings in, well, the coaching staff and the coaching tree sucks balls. Okay, so you got to put that into the conversation also, because everyone on here will say the O-line coach sucked, the head coach sucked, the GM sucked for drafting.
Keep adding other factors to one chat's question, because then that's how we get held up and don't get to answer all the chats.
But is it not logical to bring that into the equation?
Yes.
I mean, it is. Yes, it is. I mean, I'm going to get to the chat. So
right.
That's
you know, I got to get Joel all fucking amped.
You're going to start coming up with more jokes and shit.
I got stories.
Next question, Tim Strakan.
Yes, knew that was coming.
He says, remember, y'all must forgot how Jones looked under a coordinator that knew what he was doing. Jones' rookie year was amazing. Bringing in Garrett was one of Mara's worst decisions of all times.
Facts.
Yes, it was. This is why I still have, I don't know,
optimism
I can't
for
call
Jones.
Optimism. Thank you, Lou. You always come up with the correct shit. Optimism.
Thank you
Jones.
very much for that compliment. Because my wife would beg to differ.
Yeah.
There's two sides to this story. And what's so crazy about how the Giants fan base is about this actual subject we're touching on. I don't know how we came to it, but is either you're on this side or you're on that side.
Right.
And that's where the friction comes in between the Giants community about Daniel Jones. There's a side to Daniel Jones that's like how me and Joe go sometimes. We like, well, damn, the guy, he hasn't caught a break. Even the owner said we did everything to fuck this kid up in the beginning.
Right.
And you're right on that side. You are right. But then there's people like NYG, results.
Yes, I see.
He's results driven. And yes, his results have been trash. And I've seen quarterbacks that played with trash teams that have done better. I'm sorry.
And that's why these companies have boards because they have people from both sides on that board, and they have
Right.
those hard debates in those board meetings,
Right.
and they make those
Right.
tough decisions. And sometimes we lose players that we like, and we get players that we don't like based on them debates
Well,
and them discussions, and
let
who
me
throws their weight around more in those rooms.
let me ask this question. Which is easier to develop, a third-year quarterback struggling or a rookie?
Depends on the ceiling and the floor of those guys.
Let's say they're
Because you can
equal.
have a third-year quarterback who's at his ceiling and struggling, and you can have a rookie who's at his floor.
That's true too, Robert.
Well, the reason I ask that is because everyone says we got the staff that can develop a quarterback. Okay. But then again, I think Daniel Jones has a high ceiling. So, but I still, like I said, I get NYG's point very, very much because we all want results. That's why we blew up the team.
Right.
And I understand where he's coming from.
Let me get my
I
main
ain't
man
blow up shit for
Deceptions.
the record. So if the FBI, CIA, or DEA
Yeah.
is listening, y'all just make sure
Let me
I
get
have
to
not
my
blown up
man.
shit.
My man Deception. Thank you for always showing support, Deception. He says Jones' work ethic has me so drawn to him. So what if he isn't a top QB right now? You have to figure he will perfect this game with time. But how much time do you give him, Deception? You see what I'm saying? 4 years, that's
Right.
a long time. That's a long time for anybody. I don't care who it is. That's a
He
long
didn't
time.
lead the league in turnovers last year.
This is
Oh,
2022,
2019.
Yeah.
But
He
last
says-
year he didn't.
The NYG says you hit it on the head. Pat, pause. Right,
Right.
pause. He
Right.
said, but if he's an artist, maybe he can do something himself and paint with his finger a little bit. Do something. Jones does nothing. 1 step forward and 2 steps back. That was a good one, Danny.
Well,
He said paint with his finger a little bit.
hey,
He said, if Tibbs drop at 5, do we grab him or do we trade down? Eric Johnson, thank you for tuning in. I think I've seen you before. I will get right back to that question after we handle this Daniel Jones situation, but that's a damn good question, and we're going to talk about that very soon. Damn
Right.
good question, Eric Johnson.
right.
Ash, he said, would you guys be for taking George Pickens, receiver out of Georgia, in the 3rd or maybe the 2nd? I've been watching tape on him, and I like him a lot. He's nice. He's very nice. He's a very good receiver when it comes to possession, and he has deceptive speed. The thing that I would kind of fall back on is his injury history. We already have a lot of guys with a major injury history. He has a major injury history, but I do like George Pickens. I like Alec Pierce a little bit more, and I like Sky Moore a little bit more. Small school, but he reminds me of Steve Smith Sr. Hit Squad, what's going on? He says, we can't act like Giants don't have no talent. And yes, Garrett held him back in 2019. He still led the league in turnovers. He had a good season, but at Joe and at Robert acting like he lit it up in 19. Now, let me get to that statement that he just made right there. What he's saying right there is, and it's true, Daniel Jones threw a lot of those touchdowns against very bad teams that year. He did. Out of those 24 touchdowns, I think he threw 14 or 15 touchdowns against the Lions, Jets, the Washington football team. So he did light up bad teams. But under Jason Garrett, he couldn't even do that.
Right.
That's why I say there's always 2 sides to every coin. And NYG, keep bringing the heat because I love where you come in and look at it. Pause. He says, you guys remember? Yeah, pause. Good Lord. You guys remember the Ram game?
I love when you come in and look at it. You think I wasn't going to say nothing?
Right. You guys remember the Ram game? Floyd was on Jones as soon as he caught the snap. You can't do anything without blocking. Stafford and Detroit, Eli last 7 years, Mahomes versus Tampa Bay Super Bowl, 9 points. Let me tell you this. That Rams game was ridiculous. I've never seen the offensive line block that poorly. And then doing that Rams game, guess what? He lost Andrew Thomas and Kadarius Toney that game. And Saquon Barkley was already out. Slayton was already out. Ross was already out. So he was out there fighting with him and practice squad people and backups to backup line. So I understand both sides.
Fucking Mr. Irrelevant was our Mike linebacker.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. These questions, these topics right here, we tackle them here with the Big Blue Crew on True Big Blue Podcast because we have layers. We know how there's always two sides to every story. So that's why you don't see us going off about subjects and things like that because I'm gonna be honest with you. You're both right. Robert and NYG, hopefully you guys
we often tackle each other trying to tackle these discussions, as you've noticed in the chat.
Pause.
Yeah.
I said, as you've noticed in the chats.
Pause.
I didn't leave that open-ended. But good job, Joe.
You ain't tackling me.
He's like Sheldon, learning sarcasm.
That's right. I'll go fishing before I let you tackle me.
But Robert and NYG, you both are making very good points. You are. I'm not gonna lie to you. He says, "Look, fellas, I don't hate Jones." Well, I don't like his QB play, but I don't want him to fail. Just need to think the Giants need to move like much of the roster. They just need a reset, and that's what I agree with you on, NYG.
Right.
If they bomb out this year with Daniel Jones at quarterback, reset. I don't care. Joe can sing to the mountaintops. The offensive line suck. Look, this kid has had 4 years. It's time for a divorce. He needs to go somewhere else where he can prosper, and we need a break from him so we can see what we need to do and fix with ourselves. So the next quarterback, we can have a good relationship with our next quarterback. We both need to work on ourselves because we both ain't doing shit. So that's the whole situation right there with me on that one. Joe, if you want to comment on that.
I would love to because Ingram is I can't stand Ingram, but when he's on the field, I hope to God he doesn't fumble or he doesn't bat the ball up in the air. But I still root for him. He's a Giants blue. I know a lot of people didn't like Dave Gettleman, but he was our GM. He's Giants blue. You know, even when Jerry Reese was here, people didn't like him or thought he was losing it. I still rooted. Jerry, come on, do something in the draft. Praying he'd do something smart because he was Giants blue.
Oh, as long as he was working here, I'm cheering for him.
All about that's
except for Evan Ingram, Nate Solder.
So when I see Daniel Jones,
Will Hernandez, Danny Shelton,
the biggest reason why I want Daniel Jones to succeed is because if Daniel Jones succeeds, if Daniel Jones puts up the numbers that you guys want him to put up,
Matt Peart,
you know, he's our QB of the future. That's half the equation of an NFL team. That's three-quarters of the equation.
What's going on, Benny? What's going on,
That solves a lot of our issues, a lot of our problems, and we know what he can do.
Kyle Rudolph.
Then we won't have these discussions on what we pick at 5 and 7. We'll know. We'll know what we need.
Lorenzo Carter.
Right. Steven, what's going on, Steven? He says having a bad feeling the tackles in the draft go top 4, and we take 2 defenders at 5 and 7 to not reach for a tackle. I will get on that subject as well, Steven. Might not be as bad as you think, but I'll tackle that subject as well. He says it's the Commanders now. I don't give a damn what their name is. It's stupid, Ash. I don't know how the hell they came up with that shit. He says, I'm not saying he lit or anything. I'm saying he needs blocking. So does Saquon. Yes, we do. And that's another thing that more people bring up as well. When you say Saquon Barkley didn't have an offensive line and things were messed up here and that's why he's succeeding, why can't people say that for Daniel Jones? Saquon Barkley's been here longer than Daniel Jones. If you want to put it that way.
Right.
So that's another topic that you can talk about that can cause a little heat between a lot of people, a la Lord of the Roadhead, G Nation. But
that's right.
I mean, a lot of people are right on all these subjects. I don't think you can be wrong right there because it's been so bad that you're right on both sides. It has been. He says, I got this, AJ, Sports with AJ. Thank you for tuning in, bro. Good to see you. He says, I got this feeling Akeem is going 3rd or 4th, and we have Kyle Hamilton or Kayvon Thibodeau at 5. Okay. I can see that happening too. He says, I'd rather have him drop TDs on bad teams than only put up just 10 TDs a season. Tim, he says, what does Jones' stats have to be for the Giants to be comfortable? For me, it's 28 touchdowns, 9 inches, 3,800 yards. That's way better than what we've been seeing. Shit, we might be in the playoffs with them.
Yo, He was damn near on par with what I said.
Mm-hmm.
I said at least 29 touchdowns and under 10 interceptions.
Yeah, he was, wasn't he? He says
but
at
Burrow's
Robert, I agree. He
Burrow's
says at
got
Robert,
way
go
better
ahead.
weapons. Burrow's got way better weapons. He's got much better play callers. He's got a much better coaching staff, a much better support system.
Well, he's got a
He
much better
does.
coaching staff than we had.
Yeah,
He
he had a
says,
lot of
Robert, I
positives.
agree. The line is an issue. The fellas here know I support fixing the line, but you need to fix the QB too. Burrow got his team to a Super Bowl with the worst line. That is not true. That Bengals line was nowhere near as
We
bad as
had
us.
the worst line. There's
Line I've
nobody
ever
in the
seen.
NFL that had a
If
worse
you
line
put
than us.
Nate Soda on the Bengals, I believe the damn
Cannot
Bengals
sell
don't go to the
me
Super Bowl.
on the Bengals had the worst O line. You cannot sell me on that shit.
Right?
Yeah, he says we couldn't get 6 wins out of Jones. Shout out to the 40 that was in the chat. Thank you guys.
Damn.
Rob, he says, I tell you what, if Shane trades Jones, I'm still a Giants fan, but you're going to be the 90s, early 2000 Cleveland.
I would
Yeah.
greatly
Trey
appreciate it if
Jones?
some of you 40 could subscribe to me.
Yeah.
Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button to all these great channels that's on the panel right now. Deception, he says, I want Jones to be the guy, but you can't keep him if he struggles this year. I agree. I mean,
Facts.
everybody should agree with that.
Facts. Yeah.
That's just logic.
100%.
He said, I know it's in the past, but the more I think of it, Dave Gettleman ruined us. He failed Jones before he put on a helmet. He traded away Odell and traded up for a corner with A.J. Brown on the board. True.
A corner that is no longer here.
Right. There's no longer in the league now. A.J. Brown took a picture of himself in a Giant shirt. Yeah, he did. He did, but that doesn't mean anything, to be honest with you, because shit, anybody can take a picture with a jersey on that they want to play for, but it's the draft. It's the luck of the draw. He says, Levan says, like Steve Smith Sr. said, Gettleman is a salary cap guy, not a general manager in the National Football League. Steve Smith Sr. spitting facts, yo. I mean, he did get the Panthers to a Super Bowl, so he was the GM when Cam Newton and them went to the Super Bowl, so. He says, Barkley getting a raw deal. Honestly, he been hurt too, bad line, but they want to kick him out and use the same excuses to keep Jones. Shaking my head. But we're not doing that.
There's a trigger.
NYG22, listen, you are my new best friend, my nigga. I've been screaming that same shit. I've been mad as fuck. I said, if you trade Saquon, you better get rid of fucking DJ too. I'm with you on that. I'm with you. Because if you're gonna give Saquon Barkley, if you're gonna give DJ another shot, you got to give Saquon another shot because they both suffered from the same thing. Poor O-line.
That is true. That is not false. But how are you gonna get rid of DJ and you say he's trash? He has a hurt neck. He can't play. He fumbles. That's what I'm saying. Saquon Barkley has value. Daniel Jones doesn't.
I'm just saying that NYG22 has another comment that you should read. Or Deception, or Blue City Empire, or LA Vance, or Stephen Bloom.
Kyle Hamilton reminds me a lot of Isaiah Simmons. I think Kyle Hamilton is worlds above Isaiah Simmons. I think he can play any position. He has a position. Isaiah Simmons is basically a weapon. I think Kyle Hamilton will be a Pro Bowler within his first 2 years and an All-Pro within his first 3. Kyle Hamilton is a monster. He says, think we got to trade down with one of our picks to 20 to Steelers. They need a QB. A drop that far will get us a 1 next year. So we have 2 1s next year, get our QB and still get a good old lineman at 20. Danny Maida, you're right on point, but
somebody's listening to me.
We will have number 1 picks for the next 2 years, because if you're going to go all the way up to 5 from 20, you're going to have to give up 2 first-round picks, probably a second this year or next year, and probably a 5th or a 4th the next year as well. You're going to have to give up a lot to go up that way. Yeah, I would too.
I'll take all.
And what if Linderbaum drops the way they say he dropped and we get him at 20? What a freaking move. Big Rob, he says Cincinnati line blocked well for Mixon in the Super Bowl. The right guard couldn't handle Donald. Not many blockers can say they are far superior than Soda and company. Only on lineman seeing Andrew Thomas. That Bengals offensive line was way better than what our offensive line was. I'm just going to be honest with you. They were bad, but they were nowhere near as bad as us. I'm sorry. Right. I can't take that one. I can't let you get away with that one. Our O-line was the worst. Jalen Hurts isn't a better QB than Jones, but if you see how the Eagles coaching staff uses his skills to suit his offense, yes. And that's what we want for DJ. That's all I want to see. If I can see that they're actually trying to use stuff for DJ, they're actually throwing the ball deep. Go ahead, Lou.
I put it to you like this. How many quarterbacks played for the Cincinnati Bengals last year? Started and played?
1.
4.
Okay. How many different quarterbacks played for us because they kept getting popped because our O-line was trash?
3.
Okay. That should answer the question there.
Yeah. Deception says hit that like button, gentlemen. But what I'm saying with the Eagles, yes, they use Jalen Hurts the way he's supposed to be used because that's his skill set. It's limited, but if they let you run all day, the Eagles can whoop your ass. They proved that. If you're a bad team and let them run the ball for 250 to 300 yards, you're gonna get your ass whooped. But if you force them to pass, they gonna get their ass whooped. But at least they have that.
Jalen Hurts, it's a wrap.
Yeah, at least they have that. At least they know what they have in Jalen Hurts. We don't know what we have because we haven't built anything around the kid. And you can say the same thing for Saquon Barkley. But the thing with if you trade Barkley, you got to trade Jones thing is, what value are going to get for Jones? Look how you destroying him. And you root for the team that he's playing for.
Oh, highlight deceptions chat at 10:14. I did not see that. When did that come out?
Right here, he said, did you all see Giants running back coach DeAndre Smith saying in the interview that he's guaranteed Saquon will have a career year this year?
I hope so.
I did not see that, but I hope he does.
I like when a coach talks like that. I like when a coach talks like that.
Right. That means, if you want to take that as that Saquon Barkley will be here, you can take it.
No. He said that Saquon Barkley he guarantees will have a career year?
Yeah, that means that Saquon Barkley will be here in the New York Giants uniform. That's what that means.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is he's saying that he sees the talent for Saquon to be back.
Yeah, everybody should see the talent in Saquon Barkley. It's hard not to.
No. For Saquon to be back, like he's probably finally 100% back healthy.
I think he was healthy at the end of last year, to be honest with you.
At the end, yeah, maybe the last 2 games.
Yeah. You see the moves that he's putting on the last 2 games?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. He finally got his confidence back and was finally, but it was already fucking too late in the season.
Right.
Well,
it was too late.
You guys love that comment by an assistant coach. How come you can't roll with the head coach saying that he likes what he thinks Daniel Jones might have something to bring to this team?
Okay, you're getting like Miz now. You want to keep talking about the other guy. No, let me stop.
I mean, that's true, but hey, he says, Big Pat, Joel, and Lou, how do you feel about Kayvon Thibodeau saying that he thinks he would be a New York Giant in the draft? I say that's great if he falls to us, because if he's in Wink's system, he's going to play everywhere. And we're going to talk a little bit about Kayvon Thibodeau in a little bit.
If we do draft him at 5, we have to trade our number 7 for a huge haul. We have to get a big haul for that number 7 pick. If we do that,
I'm going to tell you why I would love for them to do it, but they don't have to. I'm not
against it. I'm just saying if we do grab him at 5, then we have to make sure with our number 7 pick, we trade it away wisely and get the most for it that we can. That's all I'm saying.
NYG22, our line was slightly better stats wise, but I can't front. Our O line looked worse because we're Giants fans. The Bengals fans would argue against that. Okay, I'll get with you on that. I can see the logic in that, but I'm telling you, if you put Nate Solder on the Bengals, they don't make the Super Bowl.
How many Bengals players had a 6 rating in 2-3 games this year? Not 60, 6.
Yeah, that's
6.
Yeah. Man, look, bro, that offensive line was terrible. Tim, he says Barkley have trade value. Jones doesn't have trade value. Yes, that's what we've been saying. Right. Hamilton gives me oversized Ed Reed feels. Man, I'm telling you, man, that Hamilton kid is off the chain. The Knicks lost. They were up by like 30 points.
They fell apart in the fourth quarter, man.
Good Lord.
That's why I chose to wear this hat tonight. You ain't see it?
The pricks.
The NY pricks.
He says Barkley has more trade value, but also has way more talent than Jones.
You see that? It says
Okay.
sell the team. Sell the fucking team. Where is it? Sell the team.
Levan says facts, G Nation. He says, look at the Eagles online. Their left tackle was a 7th round pick. And yes, and he's actually the best lineman on that team, I believe. He says, New York NYG 22. What has Barkley done since his rookie year to back that up? He looked way less explosive this year, still struggles to take what the defense gives him and can't stay healthy. I mean, you could just look at the guy and tell that dude's an absolute monster. Like, if he gets to the system where he has room to run, that dude will eat some teams up by himself. But we haven't put the talent around us. I think Daniel Jones is way more talented than people think too. Because when he first came out, they said he didn't have an arm. Bullshit. That dude can throw that thing. Pause.
Oh my.
He says, Danny Maida says, Pat, I agree. We will get even more picks if we drop to 20. I had no more room to type. He says, I think that's our sweet spot to trade with the Steelers. If they want Kenny Pickett that bad, and if the rumors are true that the Panthers want him, that will be the team that trade with us.
Right.
Viz, what's going on, Viz? Hit Squad says, I want to trade back for real. Yeah. He says, the interviews on channel Wake Up Call DT on YouTube. Okay, we'll check it out, Deception. He says you can get a 2nd or 3rd for Jones. They're talking about trading
Who the hell's giving
for
you
Jimmy
that?
G. QB value is elevated because of the position. Y'all know that. Jimmy G is only getting valued at a 1st rounder because he was damn near in the Super Bowl. Daniel Jones has a hurt neck. You said he hasn't done shit since he's been here. He's a fumbling machine. He's a turnover machine. He can't step up in the pocket. He's a one-read quarterback. He can't elevate his team, etc., etc., etc. Sam Darnold got traded for a 2nd and a 4th. Look what happened over there at Carolina. Daniel Jones gets some of the same comparisons as Sam Darnold. What team is going to give you a 2nd or a 3rd round pick for Jones? Crazy.
Stephen Bloom. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? I cut my own mama.
He said that dude even met Barkley yet, let alone seen him in a workout practice or classroom to know what he had.
Nah, he said, I'm not saying Jones is the answer, but some of y'all letting man crushes affect y'all decisions.
Yeah.
Ask Pat, I cut my mama if it makes us better.
He said if Coach Smith is right and Barkley has a career year, so will Jones and the O-line. Must be vastly improved. That's true, Rob.
He said he cut his mama. Mama, get out of here.
Right. Barkley was the only one that showed up in the Bears game week 17. That's true. A lot of people always agree with Mr. Lou. King Tone, what's going on? He says, Stephen Bloom, you can say the same about Jones. Either keep both or get rid of both. That's the way he feels, people, and I can't blame him for that. He said, Will K says, Kyle Hamilton at 5. We're going to start the draft talk at the hour mark. I got a couple of cool things that we can talk about, and we might give some good takes on it.
Oh, we're gonna, because I'm ready for that one.
That's what's up, man. A lot of people agreeing with my opinion. I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, a lot of people love Lou.
Yeah,
I thought everybody hated my opinion and left me out.
Even a blind squirrel finds a nut once in a while.
That's why I be spazzing sometimes and then apologizing. Spazzing and apologizing.
He says, I think Coach Smith was saying that Saquon Barkley will have a breakout year. Yeah. He says, look, once again, I'm saying our offensive line can't block a front 4 of cockroaches. Eric Johnson, that was true last year.
Eric Johnson, a dog turd, could freaking make the guys at least step around. I mean, our offensive linemen, they didn't even have to step around.
Cockroaches, son of a bitch.
Stephen Bloom, he says, I'm not saying Jones is the answer, but some of y'all, oh, this is what you was talking about. Some of y'all let man crushes affect your decisions. Ask Pat, I'll cut my mama if it makes us better. Mama, if you don't get your ass off this damn rock, you out here fumbling and shit.
Come on, mama. Hike up your skirt. Get in those trenches.
Right.
Oh my
He
God.
said, Super Ties World says Saquon is a zone running back. I think you need to use him more like a Alvin Kamara, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
He says
that's
on
what I
another
said
note,
that's what I said a minute ago.
we've
Screen
been
passes.
saying that.
Yeah.
He says, on another note, check out Bobby Skinner's breakdown of Kenyan Green. I think the Giants should consider him at 7. He's versatile to play 4 position and offers more value than Leonard Baum.
Well,
That's a heavy statement, but I do see where Bobby Skinner can go with that because Kenyan Green is an absolute animal, and he's mean as shit. His run blocking is going to be tops as soon as he gets into the league. That dude, when it comes to run blocking, I wouldn't want to play against him. Like, he literally punches people. Like, but at 7 NYG 22, I would see if I could trade back and then take him.
Right.
But if they have him that high on their board, I don't see Shane and them blinking an eye and taking him. I'll be real with you. Robert says, cut your mama, man. That's ice cold.
Cold-blooded.
Right. He says, come on, G. We like your option, but plus you pronounced my name right the last time. Teacher's been fucking that up since first grade. And well, we try to get people's names right, man. We try to respect all people in the chat, man. We could at least get your damn name right. He says, Robert, we held on to Jeter too long, Eli too long. Call me heartless or whatever, but make shit happen or make your way out the door. So I guess we're talking about
Jones and Barkley.
Yeah.
But here, you know what? Here's the thing, though. Don't come back and say, in 2 years, why did we let him go? If you guys are ready,
that's what I want to say.
Go ahead.
I mean, if he goes to another team, and balls out,
he just got a ring.
That was just lined up for Beckham. Even though he got another quarterback that was good and knew how to get him the ball, when he calmed down, yes, I think you can win games with him. But he wasn't that mature when he was with us. If he was that mature when he was with us, we probably could have won a couple more games. Hell, we might have could have won that Super Bowl that 2016 season. I promise you, Eli was on one of them playoffs.
Hell yeah, Eli was hype. Shit, he was gonna be the first one of the Mannings to get 3.
Mm-hmm. But Stephen Bloom says, I do like Green, NYG 22. Skinner's video was good. Bobby Skinner, if you want to look at offensive linemen, go to Bobby Skinner. My goodness. Yeah. He breaks that down so good.
Film breakdowns on the offensive lineman.
Right.
He does.
He says, I think Barkley will start the season. If the team is horrible by trade deadline, then trade him. That's a good assessment.
And I believe he's a former O-lineman himself.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
I can't be mad at that, Fernando. If we're horrible by mid-season and Barkley still has good value, I don't see why you would be against trading him.
Oh, no. If we do horrible to the point where we having a trade discussion with Barkley, oh, you talking about? Yeah, I'm not even. Y'all go ahead. Y'all got it.
We're working on it. We're working on it.
He says Steve Eli could still come in and win if they had O'Hara, Snead, and company. Yeah, he probably could. They had a bond. OBJ complimented Stafford, comparing him to Eli, saying you should have worn number 10 because you only throw dimes. I mean, during the Super Bowl. I think there's just two guys having fun. He was just making a joke with Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, because Stafford said, did I throw that in the right spot? And he said, well, Eli used to throw him and then he made a face.
Yeah, I think they were just making fun with each other. I don't think anything about that. He says, do you think the Giants get Kayvon Thibodeau?
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in 50 seconds.
Well, that's because they both get questions like, how did it feel throwing to a player like Odell Beckham after you were throwing to Megatron for so long? And then they ask him, how did it feel receiving catches from
Matthew
Stafford? Was it any closeness? Was it any similar to Eli Manning, or was it more like Baker Mayfield? Or so they after hearing them shits every game, they start inside jokes with themselves. Yeah.
Criticize. That's all you son bitches do is constantly criticize.
Well, apparently that's the rumor about us. All we do is criticize and and we're
Boss
oppressive
people around.
and we're you know,
He says,
and I let people boss me around. Picture that shit. Anybody that's ever been anywhere with me knows that shit doesn't happen.
He says, remember, Dayball and Shane talk about versatility, and both Green and Ikeem offer that. If you get them to, yeah, that would be lit. That's why Stephen Bloom said I'll do backflips for that. I won't be mad at that. I'm not going to lie. But, ding, 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 ding. Time for some draft talk, man. We're at the hour mark. Thank you guys for being in here with an hour. Consistent, almost 40 in the chat. Thank you guys for consistently watching us and agreeing with Lou. So, everybody wants to talk about Kayvon Thibodeau at number 5 and what should we do at number 7. So let me throw out a scenario.
Nowadays, everybody want to talk what we should do with picks. But it's a bunch of gibberish. Motherfuckers act like they're the owners of this shit.
Right. Let's say we can't trade back with the number 5 and 7 pick. We have to pick at 5 and 7 because nobody's giving us any type of value that we're asking for with those top 2 picks. Eminem and Hakeem Ekwonu are gone. People are predicting that. They're predicting those 2 guys to go in the first 4 picks. But for some odd reason, Kayvon Thibodeau is falling down draft boards, and Kayvon Thibodeau is saying that he may fall to us at 5 as well. So what if the New York Giants, Goodell walks out there, the pick is in, with the number 5 pick, the New York Giants select Kayvon Thibodeau. But then they back it up at number 7. Goodell comes out and say, with the number 7 pick, the New York Giants select Devin Lloyd, linebacker, Utah. They don't take an offensive lineman in the first round. They take 2 defenders. They pick probably the best edge rusher in the class. Many people do say that, and they take the best linebacker in the class. A lot of people say that Devin Lloyd is the best linebacker. I want to hear what Lou and Joe have to say. We're going to start with Joe, then we go to Lou, and then we'll come back to me. I'll say my little piece, and then we'll get into some more draft scenarios. But Joe, Thibodeau, Devin Lloyd, what do you think about that?
Man, Pat, right now with the way this draft board is just jumping up and down right now, I can't make any predictions until the combine. I mean,
my answer gonna fuck y'all up.
I'm looking at the draft board right now. They still got Thibodeau 1, but they got Aiden Hutchinson at 4. They got Cross at 8, Ekwonu at 9.
Shout out to Gregory.
Linderbaum's at 5. Evan Neal is 6. Karlaftis is 11. Nakobe Dean is now 13. Kenyan Green is 15. Devin Lloyd is 19. What am I supposed to do with the way this thing is changing up compared to the way we did it the last 2-3 weeks when everyone was saying it was Thibodeau and Hutchinson, a consistent 1 and 2? Because we know that Joe Shane is going to be nothing but value. You know, he did it in Buffalo. You know, he saw something in Rousseau that none of us else saw, but he got value for him at what, 22, 24, 23, somewhere in there. You look at his picks, he gets his old lineman in the 3rd, 4th round. So if Aiden Hutchinson falls the way it's looking right now, you got Thibodeau 1, Stingley 2, Hamilton 3, Hutchinson 4, Linderbaum 5, Neal 6. Garrett Wilson, the wide receiver's up to 7. How the hell is that possible? This combine is what's really good. Everybody's changing their draft boards right now. This isn't the only site that's doing this. But, you know, my God, what if Hutchinson falls to 5? Because he gets talked down. Over Thibodeau. Do you want a 3-down edge or do you want a pass rushing edge?
Liz.
You know, these guys are just going up and down. And I did not know that Ekwonu was a sophomore, and I did not know that Charles Cross was a sophomore.
Red shirt sophomores.
Right. I did not know that. So, you know, They might have more talent and be able to be developed more, but the combine's going to show everything. Their footwork, their hips, their drive, their push, their bench press. Those are all numbers. Their 10-yard split time is going to be huge for a lineman. They don't go off 40 off a lineman. They go to 10-yard split times. 20-yard split times. That's what they care about a lineman. 320-pound dude. He runs a 1.6 in the 10. Shit. Yeah, I want him pulling for me.
Yeah, but
the best example I can give on this lineman thing or this edge thing is there was an offensive lineman that put out there. Was it Orlando Pace that put it out there?
Orlando
Brown. And he says, guys, and you know what? I don't know half the shit either. He's absolutely right. We don't know fit. We don't know scheme. We don't know adjustments. We don't know what their unique traits are. We don't know what their bad traits are. We don't get to interview these guys. We don't get one-on-one personal. All we get is game film. We get highlights. We get to watch a game on Saturday with what these guys are doing. That's the only thing that we have. And then it's the level of competition that these guys are playing.
Did you answer the question yet?
Yeah, he hasn't answered the question yet. I said, how would you feel if they took Thibodeau and Lloyd?
That's what I'm trying to say. Is it really? I don't know if Thibodeau is going to even be there because he's number one on this board.
But hypothetically, he makes it to number 5. We take Thibodeau and we take Lloyd at 7.
I wouldn't take Thibodeau at 5. I'd take Karlaftis.
He said, how would you feel if they took him?
I'm not going to be upset. I'm not going to be upset because they would see something, but I would rather have Karlaftis personally. So
Frank, what's going on, Frank?
I would be kind of disappointed because I see so much potential to maneuver. Like, okay, right? Thibodeau is a defensive end. Devin Lloyd is a linebacker, right?
Mm-hmm.
I believe that you can pass on both of them and still get value in Jermaine Johnson.
They got Jermaine Johnson climbing up draft boards after that Senior Bowl.
Yeah.
Well, then
they have him at the middle of the first round now. That's crazy. Just after the Senior Bowl, they have him in the middle of the first round. But I can see what you're saying, though, Lou.
There's more than just those two guys. Is all I'm saying. Like there's them two are beasts. Yes, right. Hutchinson is a beast in his own right. Thibodeau's a beast in his own right. Devin Lloyd's a beast in his own right. Ajabo's a beast in his own right. But there's multiple. Like we can still get beast in the second round. There's that many in this draft class. So I wouldn't be surprised if we trade back both of our first round picks to mid first round.
So basically, Lou said he would be a little disappointed in that.
Because we have so many needs and we have so many because we have so many needs and we have the potential to maneuver with these draft picks and get more that would be more beneficial to us. I just think it would be wasteful.
Yeah, but remember, I said the top 2 tackles were off the board.
No, but I'm just saying. But my thing is, I want to trade back both first picks. So if you're gonna take one of the guys at 5, then you should definitely trade back.
Remember, I said
7.
we didn't get any value for those 2 first picks because what people are offering, we're not willing to take. So we're stuck at 5 and 7. So are you willing to pass up on Thibodeau and Lloyd and take a Charles Cross and a Trevor Penning at one of those spots?
Trade, if there's no path to a trade, then of course you take the guy. But I mean, if there was an option to maneuver and get more draft capital, and you chose to just take this guy, I'd be disappointed because if he turns out to be a bust, and we could have got 2 or 3 players, I'm gonna be like, yo, you a dumbass GM.
Man, shout out to the 45 in the chat. Oh, Tudo. What's going on, Tudo? He says, Salut.
Salut, Paisano. Drop by your office to pay our proper respects And for all Giants fans around the world, slap all stinky Boyd's losers out of the door.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Tudo, for the $4.99 super chat. Thank you, bro. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for all the 45 that's in the chat.
Woo.
So let's say this.
Hold up. Did you answer Stephen Bloom's? He said, I keep asking this question.
Where is he
Right
at?
above
I can't
Tudo.
see
Right
it.
above Tudo.
Up, right above Tudo.
He said, I keep asking this question. Who are the teams trading up for? The value from 5 to 37 are about the same outside of tackle. That's the thing, man. Stephen Bloom.
So if somebody wants to trade up with us and Neil is there and they want to take Neil, right? And they want the number 5 pick. You don't take that pick? You don't take that trade?
What he's saying is if Neil is there, he thinks we take him.
Oh man.
But I say this.
I would rather have
it happens every year, bro. I've been watching the draft since I was 7 years old.
Well, the
These
rumor
quarterbacks,
is
people.
sorry,
ahead,
I'm
G.
answering a question.
Frank, thank you. Pat got himself a super sticker.
Thank you, Frank. Thank you for the $10 super sticker, bro. But answer that question, Lou, then I'll go after you.
The rumor is that the Pittsburgh Steelers are interested in Pickett, and they're looking for a trade. And there's also rumors that Denver is willing to trade up for a quarterback. So hopefully,
right.
Let me answer it like this. Let's just say the Steelers are probably the only team that's willing to trade up to number 5 to get Kenny Pickett to beat out the Panthers. Lou just gave me a little bombshell. I didn't know the Broncos were willing to trade up for a quarterback as well. If I'm there at 9, I'm staying at 9 unless Pickett is the guy that they want. So let's say the Steelers offer us, obviously we're going to switch picks this year. The next 2 first-round picks would be in 2023, 2024. We get a 3rd rounder this year, maybe a 2nd rounder next year. Would you trade back? Would you take that? Would you take that? Would you take the 2 first-round picks, a 2nd next year, and a 3rd this year?
You talking to me?
I'm talking to the panel.
Oh,
the chat as well.
What was the question again?
Say the Steelers was the only team that was willing to trade up for us. But you know they're at number 20. So we go from 5 to 20. So all those top guys that we're talking about pretty much are gone.
Except for maybe Linderbaum.
That's a high maybe to me as well. But hey, look, I've seen crazier. But 20 is the only pick that we can trade back to that gives us half decent value. The 2 first-round picks, a 2nd next year, and a 3rd this year.
And we still pick with our number 7.
Yeah, but Evan Neal is gone, Equanu's gone, Hutchinson gone, Thibodeau's gone. You might have the safety from Notre Dame right there, but all your top tackles are gone. And if you don't take Cross at 7, he's probably going to be gone before 20.
Well, no, I would take Cross there. And then at 20, I would try to get Christian Harris.
But what if Cross, let's say Evan Neal was rated a 90 and you had Equanu in a 92, but you got Cross rated at an 82. Are you willing to take that 82 at number 7?
So you're saying, were you saying that Neal and all the other guys are gone, right? Neal, Equanu.
Yeah, Neal, Equanu, Thibodeau, Hutchinson. Only people that are there, because a lot of people are saying we need to get a lineman, we need to get a top lineman this year, or this draft is going to suck. Basically, what people are saying. But all the top linemen are gone.
Well, I don't believe that statement is true. I don't believe all the top linemen are gone.
I got one, Levance.
The top 5 that they're projecting is the top 5 are gone, maybe. But Zion Johnson is still there. Thayer Mumford is still there.
You're not taking Zion Johnson at 7. That's
no. But what I'm saying is there's still plenty of linemen that we can get. So I wouldn't be too upset. I would take the best player available with that number 7 and then start thinking about what I'm going to do with that number 20 pick.
But the number 20 pick, what if Linderbaum is gone and Charles Cross is gone?
Then I would go for Alec Lindstrom, or like I said, I would be trying to get Christian Harris. I would be trying to get Christian Harris, or I would be looking at a What was the other guy's name? Shit.
Hey, he's a pretty good player. Haywood, you ought to make a lot of look at too.
What if I told you Penny is better slotted to be a guard? Because if you put him at right tackle, he could get demolished. When you watch film on him, Trevor Penny, the right tackle for Northern Iowa, the big 6'6", 6'7" guy. What if I told you he was better fitted at guard? All I'm saying is, are you willing to trade back from 5 all the way to 20 and miss out on Iquanu, Neal, Linderbaum, Cross, and they got Zion Johnson going pretty high too. I doubt he makes it before 20.
Don't forget, the Saints are looking for a quarterback too.
Yeah, that's true as well. But
Minnesota's
number 20 is the only one that's giving us value like that. Number 20, the 20th pick, is the only one that's giving us value like that. But hold on one second, Lou. He says, what's the issue with Cross? His strength is pass pro. They want Jones to succeed. Take Cross at 5 or 7 if Akeem and Neal are gone. No excuses for Jones. I mean, that's true. But what if Joe Shane does not have Cross that high on his board? That if Hamilton is there, he has him rated at a 95, but Cross is at an 82.
But
do you think he'll take that 82 over that 95? That's what he
hired these coaching staff for. If the best lineman available is rated at 82, then you expect your coaches to get him to fucking 87.
But if you're expecting your coaches to coach him up, you expect him to get that 95 to a 99.
Right, but in his first year, I would expect no more than like an 87. If he's rated 82, I would expect him to finish out the year close to 90 and then expect 95 next year because he is a rookie.
Okay, we can go that route as well. But you know the worst thing that can happen to us in this draft?
Because look at Andrew Thomas. Andrew Thomas started out horrible and then finished the second half of the season is great.
That's true. But you know the worst thing that can happen to us in this draft? If we
get
reach
another Eric
for
Flowers.
a lineman. Yeah, if we reach for a lineman. And that's a reach for Charles Cross.
Well,
I like the kid too.
I've been preaching trade back to the middle of the first round for the longer. You know it. I've been saying, you know, we can get.
You've been preaching that. I mean, all of us have really been preaching that I would want to trade back, but Lou, somebody has to want to trade up for you. Your pick.
But I'm telling you, there's guys out there. Carolina's looking for a quarterback. Minnesota's looking for a quarterback.
People throw that out there all the time.
The Saints are looking for a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So there's potential for shit to move and shake.
No, Trudeau, I'm not speechless. I'm just letting these two go at it for a while because usually I'm involved into this stuff.
So we're not going in.
I like this. I'm on the sideline for a change.
But just look, I just want people to look at it. That could very well happen that the only team that's willing to trade up to get somebody is Pittsburgh because a lot of people throw out smoke screens.
Yeah,
Carolina could be saying we want to take Kenny Pickett, knowing that they want that quarterback, that safety from Notre Dame the whole time. And causes Pittsburgh to lose their shit and trade up with us to get Kenny Pickett, knowing that they wanted that safety from Notre Dame to fall to him at 6 the whole time.
Mr. Clark. Bar the doors, Mr. Clark.
Joe Clark, thank you for the $1.99 super chat. He says, keep up the great analysis and videos, y'all. Thank you, bro. Thank
you.
He says, Levan says, I got the red Giants hat because of Brother Mac. I got the black Giants hat because of Brother G Nation. And I got the royal blue Giants hat because of Brother Pat, yo. Well, thank you. Thank you for liking what we do, man. This is what we do for you guys. He says, NYG22 says, I see a mock had us taking Trevor Penning at 7. I was like, what? I wish I would have seen it too because I would have said the same thing. He says, I think if King Tone says, I think if we don't get a first or a first for next year, keep our picks and draft whoever is available.
You didn't skip no chats above that super chat, did you?
No, that's why I'm going back.
Okay.
The last one I did was NYG22. He says, Super Charles, what about the tackle from Central Michigan? A bum.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Look at the Senior Bowl. A bum.
You thought Solder was a turnstile.
And the reason why me and Joe have a lot to say about these tackles, we're not trying to be smart asses. We actually studied film together on these tackles in this draft. We studied a lot of film on a lot of players before this draft. I'm not saying that we're analysts like a Mel Kiper or anything, but I think any one of us that put forth the effort can do what they do. But I've studied a lot of film, so has Joe, and we have questions. I'm just going to be honest with you. I have questions about each one of these guys.
They said that motherfucker sus. You feel me? They said that motherfucker sus.
I don't want to hear sus no more. My wife's playing it on that damn game all the time.
Motherfucker.
I don't need to hear that.
He says Giants backed into a corner because of the fans and media. If they don't fix the O-line and take a tackle at 5 or 7, fans, media will kill Dabo and Shane. That's the problem. It's lose-lose. That's a lot. That's what me, Joe, and Lou have been saying. The fans have put this organization in a lose-lose situation.
Yes.
You fix the O-line, the defense goes to shit, you're stupid. You get the defense to keep them. Go ahead.
Lal Kuss NY. Thank you for coming by, bro. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already.
Yes, thank you.
And then if we keep the defense right, but the offense still suffers, they suck as well. So they are in a lose-lose situation. Rodney says right in one. Yeah, we need to win. All right. Tudo says, Joe, we love you, bro. Just messing with you. We're just having fun when we're not playing or in practice. Tudo, we know you got love for everybody.
Exactly.
Tudo, I'm going to need you to tell your whole rugby team to come and subscribe to my channel.
Right.
You always telling me how your whole team loves our channel and our streams. Well, they need to subscribe.
Yeah.
He says you guys are a great team. Joseph Clark says you guys are a great team, man. I appreciate that, man. We all do. Steven, he says, if it's the Steelers, I'll still do it. I like Dean, Burks, Jermaine Johnson, Ojabo. Yeah, I mean, that's the questions we have to ask about this draft, man. So get used to it, man. We're going to be doing a lot of draft content until the draft comes up. We're going to be doing the combine. Hopefully, Lord of the Roadhead Lou can get one of the combine situations going on his channel, because I want all three of us to get that experience.
I'll do one of the underwear Olympics.
I think the one on Saturday is
don't use the words underwear Olympics and Roadhead in the same category, please. Just please don't pause.
No, Levance, thank you, bro.
Hey, yeah, it was still in the same conversation. That's just no bueno.
Team.
No bueno.
Shout out to the 50. Shout out to the 50 people that was in the chat.
All right.
Robert Big Rob says Cleveland, New Orleans, Denver, Carolina, and what the hell is their name? The Commodores or
Commanders.
Commanders.
I'm dead.
All may want to trade up for the QBs, trade back. Look, I'm gonna say this again. A lot of teams put out smoke screens for a reason.
Yes.
This draft thing is way more complex than people think about it. It's not
this shit is cutthroat than a motherfucker. These are millions of dollars they signing these first round picks for.
Right. And a lot of people can make up bullshit about a player just to hope that they drop. Put this out there.
Go commies. Wait.
He said a lot of these GMs and a lot of these owners be like, put this out there about him. Say that he failed a drug test or something.
Because of the Commanders. Go commies. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
A lot of GMs can put out little things like that about the whole thing with Ojulari. I'm be honest with you. That might be a little bit of funny stuff that we did. It said that about Ojulari and his knee and turned people off about him, and he wound up falling to us in the second round.
But he did have knee surgery
in high school. He had no knee injuries or anything prior in college. It was high school. Just like with Warren Sapp, thing came out that he failed a drug test and it wasn't true. The Larry Tunsil video. Did somebody get paid off to put that video out there? And he failed. I think he failed to the Dolphins.
Yeah,
at what, 10 or 11? Yeah. That dude was projected to go in top 3.
Right. Can we get a gas mask of Aiden Hutchinson, maybe?
They're already making Aiden Hutchinson drop. They're saying he doesn't have a high motor. What?
I told you. That's what I said.
I told
What?
you.
Have you studied film? Film don't lie. I don't care what anybody
It
tells
ain't
me. When
about
I
him
see on
having
film,
it ain't about the film. If you watch, he's a beast in the first 2 quarters. By the third quarter, he's more mediocre. By the fourth quarter, he ain't shit.
What film you been watching?
right? Because I remember against Ohio State, who they never could beat. That dude had 3 sacks, and 2 of them came in the last quarters.
Yeah.
He was the main reason why they couldn't score to take the lead. He sacked the quarterback on that play. Oh, I guess he watched the Georgia film where he was being doubled and triple team, and they was throwing the ball on screen passes every damn play. And when they did throw it deep, the DB got beat so fast that it really didn't matter. Oh, so you watch that film and say, hey, this guy, he's not what it is. Because all before that game, he was considered the consensus #1 pick until that Georgia game. And then all of a sudden,
I never switched from my take. I've been saying I don't think he's the
I
guy
didn't say
from the
you,
beginning.
Lou.
Oh,
I didn't say you. I'm saying everybody, Kipper, Mayock, all those guys say that Aiden Hutchinson, man, is going #1.
Yeah, Joseph Clark is crazy.
Yeah.
He's spread the word. Hutchinson runs a prostitution ring. None of the
Hey.
teams ahead of the Giants should draft him.
Shit. As long as I can get Roadhead between truck stops, pick them up at one, drop them off at the other. Is that like self-serve?
It really is.
You get all the sound effects with it, the motion of the ocean.
But
Lateral
NYG22 says pressure is on them to take O-line. They don't really have luxury of going best player available. This really is an awkward position for them. I don't really think Joe Shane and Dabo give a damn. I'll be honest
Shout
with
out
you.
to Jeff, man. I hope you don't feel funny about all that bullshit that went down yesterday, brother.
Oh, Jeff in the building? Where you at?
Nah, he just tweeted and said he got a lot of shit going on. That's why he's not on the stream.
Ah,
okay. Well, I hope I'm praying for you, man. Hope you're all right, bro.
Yes.
L.A. Coos, New York. He says, what if Joe trade up for Ikeem to the 3rd and get Kayvon or someone else at 7? I wouldn't be mad, but I would be mad if we have to give up a first next year to go to #3. I would be.
Right. That's probably what it would take.
They probably would. You got to take an edge and O-lineman or O-lineman and O-lineman in the first round. I mean, that's what everybody's saying. That's what New York, that's what NYG22 just said. That's the pressure that they're under. If they don't take an O-lineman in the first round, they're going to probably burn New York City down. Rodney says, some team will want to trade up for a QB. We should be entertaining all calls. If Equano's there, take him. Let's start this rebuild the right way. Okay.
All right, Rodney.
He said this tackle class got hyped before all the evidence was available and will make us look bad for not reaching on one. I said that.
Yep.
I'm not going to lie. I thought this tackle class was
I need coffee.
Knock out the park until me and Joe started doing film. And I say there's a lot of things to be desired with each prospect. Just going to be real with you.
He said it's going to make us look bad for not reaching for one.
That's what I'm saying. They're going to want us to reach for one of these tackles, and they may not feel that these tackles are as hyped as everybody's trying to make them to be, but they will be killed for not taking them. He says, all of us Mel Kiper mofos will be wrong on draft day.
You're right, Bobby.
What's going on, Bobby?
Damn it, Bobby. Quit making them
Bobby
train noises.
Thank you, Bobby, for tuning in, bro. He says, I got to say, given that we have Wink as DC now, I'm looking more seriously at safety Hamilton. I wonder if he and McKinney would complement each other and give Wink a lot of flexibility. They damn sure would, Joe Clark. Those two back there at safety, I don't see anybody throwing it deep no time soon. I promise you that. He says, if no trade back and Lloyd is there, take him at 7. Address both sides of the ball. No, Steven says, true, Bobby.
You got to address both sides of the ball. I've been screaming. You got to build the O-line and you got to solidify that defensive front because our nose tackle and our defensive tackle positions are sketchy.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they are.
So while we have a shitty O-line, our defensive front is not much better. We just have a good secondary, and a few
Right.
good linebackers that help disguise it. But we have a weak nose tackle, and our other defensive tackle can't get to the quarterback.
Right. Lord of the Roadhead. He'll never live that down. He says Joe Clark, I think they could be a nasty
That's
tandem.
crazy
They
though. It
would be a
wasn't
nasty
even
tandem.
it wasn't even my story. I don't know how I ended
Right.
up with the name.
Right. He says Blue City. That's the way I'm leaning towards what they should do. NYG 22 says. He says go commies. Wait. Tudo, he says Big Fat Gaddy's been seen in KFC purchasing 12-piece chicken special. He was fulfilling his buckets list before he was kicked out. Buckets list, no pun intended.
You know what? Some chicken do sound good right about now. I ain't
Right,
even
for real. I ain't gonna front.
hungry than a motherfucker.
Some chicken right now. Some good
Be
golden
slapping,
crisp
nigga.
fried chicken.
That
Sound
shit
good
would be
right now.
slapping right now, nigga.
Right.
Oh, wait a minute. What I miss? Food? Shit.
Chicken.
Some
Yes.
tobacco sauce.
Oh, dead bird. I love dead bird.
Vance, thank you for tuning in. Levance was good, bro. He says Linville Joseph said the Giants, the new Giants defensive line coach made him into the great player that he is. I hope he does the same for a lot of other players on this team.
I don't know why we let him go.
The same reason why we let all our defensive tackles go. We love giving people good defensive tackles for some reason.
We let Cullen Jenkins go, Linville Joseph. Oh man, what are they doing? Spread the word, Hutchinson. Oh, I saw that one right.
Yeah, Joe Clark's brother. I hope he isn't. He says Kayvon Thibodeau's there at 5, take him. If it's cross, take him, you'll get 1. If you take Thibodeau, I think you should go best player available. Now, that might be another defensive player, but you establish a strong foundation. True. But as you said, NYG, they would get absolutely stoned for that.
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead, Joe.
I'm just curious. What's everybody's?
Yes, prayers for Joe. For Jeff, for real.
Yeah, exactly. What's everybody's affliction now with Kayvon Thibodeau all of a sudden? What is it about him that has these fans so hyped? Why we're talking about getting him at the 5th, maybe trading up. What is it about this guy that makes him he's got injury concerns? You know, we're always saying that we don't want no more injured players. And look, I get it. Anybody can get injured at any time. But, you know, that's what everybody's saying about the free agencies. We need to stop bringing in these injured players. I mean, you got a kid right here.
What's good, AK?
And it's not trying to shoot him down. I'm just trying to get the understanding of the chats. You know, what makes him the guy that you want at number 5? What is it? But now if we can't trade back, that's the thing. Everyone's saying grab Thibodeau at 5.
4 and counting. Thank you for being here, bro. Please subscribe to G Nation, Big Pat, and Classified 3F.
He's not a good run stopper, Slay. He's not a good run. He's not a 3-down edge.
Rodney, Trevin Penning is not a top 10 pick. Green, I can make a case that he is. And Cross, you can make a case that he is. But Trevin Penning in the top 10, no. I promise you we'll hate that pick. But thanks for 4 and counting and tuning in. Joe, I mean, you still there, Joe?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, I was going to say.
No, I'm just having coffee and a cigarette.
Oh, okay. He says size, speed, quickness off the line. He's a good run stopper and good against the pass. Slay, what's going on, Slay? You're right. Size, speed, quickness off the line. I don't think he's a very good run stopper, but he is good. He is probably the best against the pass. But I will say this. What got me intrigued with Kayvon Thibodeau with Wink's defensive system, I don't think they're going to ask him to be a great run stopper like that, Joe. I think they put him all over this defense. if they do get him. But I know you're gonna say you can do that with Karlaftis. You damn sure could, and you would get great run protection. You could do that with Ojabo, and I think you get better run protection with Ojabo as well. But it's just something about that guy and his pass rush that is appealing. And the fans see his highlight video all the time. That's what's got him hyped. And he was hyped up from day one. So because that plays a major part into it as well.
I got his stats right here. He played 13 games his first year, and he had 9 sacks.
Thanks, bro.
He played 7 games his second year. He had 3 sacks. And he played 10 games this year, and he had 7 sacks.
Oh, appreciate that for and counting.
So, I mean, I'm just looking at his stats, and it's, would you say average?
Oh, he just subbed to you only. Never mind.
I need one of my moderators to put everybody in the chat. Hit Squad, I think you're a moderator. Get everybody's link in the chat so 4K can subscribe to everybody, or go in the description. Joe's and G Nation's channel is in the description as well. But go ahead, shout those stats out again, Joe, for everybody to hear.
His first year in 2019, he had 13 games and he had 9 sacks. His second year, he played 7 games. He had 3 sacks. And then his third year, he played 10 games. He had 7 sacks. Now his solo tackles, he had 24, 25, 35. Okay, that improved. Assists, 11, 17, 14. Total tackles was 35, 42, 49. And then tackles for a loss, his first year was 14. His second year was 9.5. And his third year was 12. I mean, he has 3 forced fumbles for those 3 years combined. 1 his first year, none his second year, 2 his third year. So while you guys are saying he's got good upside, I'm just looking at just realistic numbers. And like I said, I'm not trying to put the kid down. I'm just trying to understand what is the driving force behind wanting him the way that I'm seeing the fan base go after this.
Yeah, those stats aren't eye-popping when you said the stats, but when I look at the tape, man, there's no question this dude will be an elite pass rusher in the league within a year or 2. He will be. I promise you he will be.
I'm not saying he won't be either, Pat.
Yeah, I know you're not saying that.
Okay.
You're saying besides the pass rush, what does he bring? You're the guy that wants. I'm that type of guy as well. I want well-rounded guys when I bring them in. I want to know that I could keep you on the field at all times.
Right.
That's what I want to know. But NYG 22, man, he's always on point. I think, man, this guy, man, if you wanted to start a channel, bro, you would do well.
Right.
He says at Joe, media for real, but he's very talented. So basically what he's saying is he's agreeing with you. The media hype him up. But he's also on the other side saying that he's very talented.
Right.
He says, I know you guys broke him down. Yes, we did. We broke down a lot of these. This is why we're talking about the draft so much. We broke down a lot of these guys. We put in a lot of hours into this. I'm going to be honest with you.
Right.
And he said, but this is where you have to trust your coaches. You got to see potential.
Don't believe them. They were fishing.
The Gettleman era is gone. Shout out to the 50 in the chat. Thank you, guys.
Yes, thank you.
Look, he says the Gettleman era is gone.
And I'm a big supporter of that. That's why when I say it's a new era, it's a new regime, we've got to have confidence in these guys. And if Shane picks this guy, look, it's the first year of this guy's draft. We don't understand anything about him, what he's going to look for in a player. We don't understand what his draft evaluations are because he's never done it as the GM. Daboll's a head coach. He's never been in a draft as a head coach. We got an assistant GM in here from the Eagles who knows how to draft a friggin' offensive lineman. We're changing up the scouting department. We got guys coming. We got guys going. The only thing we haven't seen yet is that on the team, who's going, who's staying, free agency. So that leaves a lot of why we're questioning so much. And that's
Who's
why I
phony?
question a lot
Who's
of it.
fake? This is the type
And
of
I get it.
people I hate.
And I have
Is it
said,
really, you know,
I've said since day one, if you want a third down pass rushing specialist, Thibodeau is one.
who's real?
I've
Who's
said
not?
that since day one,
I'm
since we
real,
broke him
and
down.
he's not.
If he's going to sit there and be lined up at the wide 9 spot, coming off of that edge, and he's got a good spin move, he's definitely that guy. And Lou's messing with me.
No, you said who goes and who stays, and it just put me in it brought that chorus to mind.
I know
Who's
when you
phony?
started singing that
Who's
chorus.
fake?
Yeah.
Type of people I
Now
hate.
you guys could sing, but I can't. That's not fair.
Hey,
No,
man,
People
it was
call
like
for my
it was
voice.
like a triple
I
message
told
in
you.
that when it was perfect
I
timing.
told you 2 weeks. It ain't been 2 weeks yet.
Yeah, okay.
There was a triple. That shit was like, who's phony? Who's fake?
Yeah.
Them the type of people I
But we
hate.
got some good
If you're
questions
real,
in
you
the
know,
chat.
Right.
We got
I've
some
been
good
reading them.
questions in the chat right here. He says, I get that Penning is a top 10 pick. This is Rodney, by the way, guys. Big Blue
Right.
Corner. Go subscribe to his channel.
Oh, y'all gonna try to rein me in?
That's
Nobody
what
shuts me up.
Hey, but
Nobody
if we
my
get a
boss.
trade back to the 24,
Go have a peach.
then would you consider that a reach for an old lineman? I wouldn't consider a reach at 20 because that's what his grade is around Rodney. But I will say this: that guy has the potential to piss people off. He does, man. That guy. I think he's better at guard. I don't want Trevor Penning at right tackle. I don't.
But my nigga Tone be with me, boy. Hey, I fuck with you, Tone. Word up.
He says, Karlaftis or Thibodeau, who would you take? You probably already debated, but I joined late. That rhymes.
Bars.
Right, bars. That's tough, man.
You know who I want.
To be honest with you, you guys might call me stupid. But I like Karlaftis better for this defense.
Well, they're calling me stupid too then.
I like Karlaftis better for this defense. Reason why is because Karlaftis can do everything that Thibodeau could do for this defense, and he's a great run stuffer, and he plays that RPO like a magician.
Yes.
And we have nothing but RPO quarterbacks in our division, to be honest with you.
Watch his
especially if the Commodores get Malik Willis. That guy will be an absolute jewel for us doing if we get him in the draft and we use him against that RPO and things like that. I've seen Thibodeau play against the RPO and I was not impressed. And don't get it twisted, guys. This is not me saying Thibodeau is not going to be a great player. I think the dude is going to be absolutely a stud in the league. And if we get him at 5, you're not going to hear one complaint from me. I'm going to be ecstatic just as much as you guys. But I wouldn't be mad if we took Karlaftis and Thibodeau was on the board. That's the difference between me and a lot of the Giants fans. A lot of Giants fans would go absolutely apeshit if that happened, but I would actually be happy. So call me crazy about that if you want.
Because a lot of our Giants fans want the shiny new toy, and they don't realize that a lot of times if you don't have a floor, the shiny new toy has nowhere to be.
Exactly, and it's going to get very dirty.
People calling me crazy because I would love to see Karlaftis and Lloyd from Utah as our 5 and 7 picks, and people hate that thought.
I would jump through the. Can you imagine?
Hate that thought.
Okay.
What's the next chat?
Okay.
They're backing up. You can keep talking about what you're talking about. I'm just saying, they're starting to back up.
You said what's bad about his stats? They don't jump off the board to me as a consensus number 1 pick. It's the only thing bad about that. Consensus number 1 pick where there's nobody else that should be the number 1 pick but you from the beginning of the season. He should have had like 13, 14 sacks and played all year. And
we did the other day, Tudo.
Yeah. He says all high contract players, overrated players are all BS. It's all about good management and elite coaching who makes any average player into a star player by smart development. We're living proof. That is true, Tudo.
I agree with that. 100%.
You couldn't have said that any better. He says, don't go to the stats set, Joe. You're disqualified.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Hey, NYG ain't going to never let you live that down, man.
I know. It's all right. I got big shoulders, though. I can take it. I'm old. I'll forget it, and I'll forget it when I walk in the next room. So, what was I fighting about? Oh shit, ain't that worried about it.
Levant says facts too, though. That was a good saying right there.
Yeah, it
too,
was.
Real talk. Couldn't said that any better. He says even full game Thibodeau is good. Thibodeau is good. I'm not gonna lie to that. What would you do with the 5th and 7? That's what we're talking about right now. New York.
Right.
Says, remember,
NY.
Course NY. LL Coos
Yeah.
NY.
Lal Kus.
Lal Coos NY. There we go. He says, remember, can't use stats for Jones though. He says, I would hate he said, Foreign Count says, I would hate the Thibodeau pick.
Foreign Count, subscribe to G Nation Inside Sports,
Right.
aka G Nation, the Lord of Roadhead.
Hey, don't forget the Mad Trucker classified 3 up with Joel, who gives him the story so he can get that title.
I didn't even give myself that title. That title was given to me today,
Well,
and I said,
that's
I
how
don't
you
know
got
why.
it. My stories got you that title.
It was your story. I don't understand how that title was bestowed upon me.
I don't know, but it's the best damn title in the damn
Somebody
stream.
went and searched my footnotes and realized that I lived up to it.
He got records.
Oh my
he says Foreign Count says I'm in love with Lloyd.
Pause. No, let me stop.
Oh my God.
Yes, Devin Lloyd is a monster. And he also can be an edge rusher too. I might have to do an actual film breakdown for you guys live to show you exactly how much of a monster that kid can be. Joe Clark, he says, we used to let 4-3 defensive tackles walk because they could be more easily replaced, but we have 3-4, which requires a good nose tackle. We need a good one and to retain them. That is true.
Because Denny's has got to go.
Right. Kayvon Thibodeau also has no Ojabo across from him and was a focal points to scheme around. Okay, Steven, who knew about Ojabo before this year? Who knew about Ojabo? Can you say, so you're saying that Ojabo helped Aiden Hutchinson's draft stock? It's not true. Aiden Hutchinson helped his draft stock. Aiden Hutchinson was getting double teamed at Michigan. But not to poo-poo Ojabo, because I think he's going to be a beast as well. But we can't say that Ojabo was the reason why Aiden Hutchinson was going off. You didn't even know Ojabo until this year, and Aiden Hutchinson was playing well before then. But I get where you're coming from, Steven. Says, Brother Joel inspired me to grow some hair. Hey, I got to check that out. I got to check your mock draft, Foreign Counting.
Yes.
Will do.
I'm definitely going to subscribe to your channel after this stream.
Didn't know you was a content
If I'm not
creator.
subscribed, yeah, me either. If I'm not subscribed already.
I will subscribe. But
Big
you still
Play
ain't subscribed to
Slade.
my channel though, cuz. What's going on, cuz? No, let me stop.
Big Play Slade. He says, well, no one is saying
my
Thibodeau
God.
is great.
Penis.
It's the media, my guy. He's very talented dude, is a monster, but in your terms of your scheme, he will be good and he doesn't have to do too much. Bobby Mercy says, you guys watch highlights on YouTube just like we did. I did watch highlights, but I watched all 22 film as well, Bobby Murphy. Maybe I have to show you what I was watching on.
No, we didn't watch highlights. We watched game film in all 22. We stayed away from highlights. We didn't watch freaking highlights.
I would definitely not be saying Thibodeau is not a good run stuffer if I was just watching his highlights.
Right.
You're just watching his highlights, he's the consensus #1 pick.
Yeah, because that's what they do, highlights. They ain't gonna show you bad plays on the highlights.
Right.
Or
when the play goes away from him.
Hutchinson has short arms, so he might fall. That's what they're saying about Hutchinson. He has short arms. That's why he might fall. And believe it or not, Foreign Counting, I wouldn't be surprised if something like that happens. Oh, he has short arms. He's not going to be that great.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. You guys remember that guy up in Minnesota that was never supposed to do anything? He was only 6'1", but he's one of the best defensive linemen to play the game.
Yeah, John Randall.
Yeah, exactly.
He had short arms. He was small. He was this. He was that.
He was part of the Purple People Eaters. Yes.
He says, whatever you want Kayvon Thibodeau to do, he brings it to the table.
He doesn't.
That could be very true with some training, but as of right now, No, I don't think any rookie brings everything that you want them to bring to the table. They're rookies.
Yeah.
They have to learn. He says, I like Sauce Gardner and Linderbaum. I am not taking Sauce Gardner with the number 5 or the number 7 pick. If I'm taking a DB, it's going to be that DB from LSU. But he has a major injury history. But if that kid plays healthy, he's the best DB by far.
Well,
and it's
that
not
kid
even
from
close.
Clemson's moving up the boards, guys.
Stingley's the best DB in this class, and it's not even close. I promise you that.
I'm just saying.
Well, wait till they see my shit.
I've had promises made too, and then the wife would renege on them. So
he said, thoughts and prayers go out to Anthony Davis. Yo, just rolled his ankle.
Oh,
Man, Anthony Davis stays hurt, man.
How the fuck he roll his ankle?
Right. If you
Sitting
real
on
and
the
you know
couch?
it, clap your hands.
I clapped my
Yeah.
hands earlier.
That's how late you are in the chat from when I
Yeah.
was saying
Yeah, I'm
who's
trying
phony,
to catch up.
who's fake.
Right. He said, Pat, I watched your mock draft last week, and pretty much everyone you drafted were players I had been taking in my draft simulations, including Camarda. Yeah, Camarda, man, that's my guy, man. Get him in the 6th round. We'll be okay at punter. He said, sorry, guys, just finishing my live.
God, I thought he said he went fishing. I thought he went fishing. Oh, my God. I swear to God I saw that.
NYG22, he says it's a new era, but fans thinking and mindset is as if it's the old era. That's why I made that statement. KT is real deal. Got to get better at run D, but that's where the coaches come into play. That's true, NYG. You got to get these coaches to coach them up. That is very true. But I'm not wrong for stating what I see.
Right.
I'm not saying he's undraftable. I'm saying we get him at 5. I'm ecstatic. But I think Karlaftis is just a little bit better. But KT's ceiling is probably higher than anybody's in his draft. If you get him to play that run and be a beast at the run, I see this guy having no flaws in about 5 years and being the best edge rusher in this league. That is true. I'm not taking that away from him. But me and Joe, and sometimes Lou as well, we get killed for stating things that we see. And that's the thing that I'm just trying to get people to understand. I'm not poo-pooing the guy. I'm not saying he's trash. I'm not saying he's good. I'm not saying he's not worth the number 5 pick. I'm telling you, I'll be ecstatic if we get him at number 5 because I know what Wink Martindale could do with this kid, and he can be dynamite. But I also... I like doing this drafting, and I also have to report what I see. And that's what I see. Honest truth, that's what I see. I'm not saying anything bad about the kid. Joe, go ahead. I know you want.
Man, this everyone uses, real deal. He's it. He's the guy. He's the proven. I've seen that so much, and I've watched them just tank when people get that title. It's like the expectations overwhelm these kids. And it's like, everyone's sitting here saying, I'll tell you, he's the real deal. And, and I've had people try to sell me a bridge before too, but I still ain't buying it. The real deal and the incredible and a game for the ages. And, even the, man,
if he wants to come on a panel, he can. He definitely. We had him on the panel before. The guy is great. Go ahead, Joe. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. It's just, I ain't a good enough evaluator to say yes or no. I just tell you what I see with my eyes.
I mean, that's all we can do.
Right. And I know people aren't going to believe the same thing that I believe, and that's what makes the channels. That's what makes the conversations, and that's what makes interacting with live streams. Why I love doing live streams more than I like doing pre-recorded or any other videos. I get to interact with people.
Of the line,
exactly.
Of the live streams.
Get people's opinions.
You can't get this better on anything else,
right? But to say that a guy is, guaranteed, the truth. I mean, we see it in basketball all the time. And then an injury. You know, it's like Chase Young. Everyone said he was going to be the beast, and he got injured. Now we got to see how he comes back from that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Blake Martinez was a damn good middle linebacker, but we got to see how he comes. And people do not want to get rid of him. They love the guy. And I get it. You know, we're fans. I understand completely. You know, like my love for DJ. I get it. I love it. I love the excitement. I love the enthusiasm. But
I mean, that's why I like doing the breakdowns that we do, because I really get to see who these kids really are.
right.
Oh, Tudo with another super
Tudo.
chat.
Oh my
We get
goodness.
to the super chat, and then I'll get back to the chat. Tudo says New York Giants should put me in charge of signing players. I've learned a lot through my pro career. Who's the winning player and who's the BS?
Yes.
All I need: size, talent, attitude, and work ethic. I'll take it from there.
That's what
Hey,
we
Tudo,
need.
you're dropping some jewels, man, because a real coach, that's what they say.
Right.
Give me a guy that has size that I need. Give me the guy that has a talent. I can see the talent of the kid. Give me the guy that has a great attitude, that's willing to learn, that has a great work ethic, and I can take it from there. Barring injury, if you're a good coach, that player is going to be good.
Right.
Just being honest.
I'm dropping bars right there.
Right. Tudo been dropping bars all night. Thank you for the $9.99 super chat. Basically a $10 bill. Thank you, bro. He says, remember the Ravens love speed. Let's see how they run. KT is much faster than you think, but I don't know. I don't scout, but that's how you stop these top offenses, with speed. I'm telling you. That's
Uh-oh. Pat froze. Right in the middle. I hate it when that happens. Yes, Tudo is the man, yo. Again, thank you. Thank you for the love and the support, Tudo. We have to wait for Pat's internet to stop acting up. Yeah, I'm getting messages. Let me put my phone on silent. That way it's not going to beep, 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 beep.
What happened?
Pat lost internet.
Is he frozen?
Yeah.
All right.
So it's you and me, kid.
All right. I'm not a baby goat neither.
I never said that.
You
I
just
said
did
you
when you
kid.
called me a kid. A kid is a
You're
baby
younger
goat.
than me.
But a kid is a baby goat.
I know, but you know.
Shout out to Tudo for the $9.99 for the $10 super chat. What the fuck am I doing?
I don't
It says
know.
NYG should put me in charge of signing players. I've learned a lot through my pro career. Who's the winning player and who's BS? All I'll need: size, talent, attitude, and work ethic, and I'll take it from there. What was the last comment he was at? Remember those Ravens?
He was up a little higher, but power surge. All right, he'll be back on in a minute. That's what I thought. He was right in the middle of a good rant too. Damn it! Well, you know,
He was.
We're not saying anybody's bad. We're not saying anybody's good. I
I'm
mean,
looking for
guys,
that
realistically, Lou, do you really think outside of like taking a wide receiver with the first two picks, a corner with the first two picks, do you
No.
think that anything is really going to upset you, even if we did go two defensive? Now, look, because it's a defensive heavy draft. How many times do you see this many edge rushers in one class? How many times do you see these good linebackers in one class? That fills major holes for our team. And I get it, the O-line is really bad. But inside linebacker is a challenge for Wink Martindale. Edge rusher is a challenge for Wink Martindale. Offensive line is a challenge. The wide receivers corps, the tight end.
All right, well, let me catch some of these chats up real quick. Oh, I can't highlight it. It's not my stream.
We can't highlight.
Football is won and lost in the trenches. Some of these fans need to wake up, yo. I agree with you, Bobby. Mike Nixon says, Big Pat, did you hear that Kayvon Thibodeau said he's going to be a giant on Colin Cowherd podcast on the Herd? I don't know if he heard it or not, but he's not on the chat right now. I'm just trying to catch up the chat.
Right.
Much love though at Joe from NYG22, LA Vance.
Yes.
Gave us the dap.
Always love.
Hit Squad laughing my ass off. Brother
Sub
King
up.
Tune.
Hit,
Lou,
hit
how you
squad,
gonna say
dropping
pause?
links. Thank you.
We'll
Lou,
be
how are
using
you
Bills
gonna
and
say-
Chiefs offense. Hell yeah. LA Vance, much love.
Lou, how you going to say pause after claiming King of Roadhead? Okay.
Plus, Ojabo took Quiddy Pay's spot. Don't be surprised if Ojabo drops like Ojolari did. Much love, King Tone, brother.
That might happen.
We can take Penning and Burks. Whether they know it or not, Ojabo was a menace as well. Name another player in Oregon's defense, because Michigan may have 3 first-rounders.
That's
LA
true.
Vance for sure. King Tone. I was kidding. Damn.
Oh, when
King
we
Tone,
said
true.
the film. Yeah.
Offense is a different convo, though. Just referring to the defense and Kayvon Thibodeau conversation.
Right.
Joseph Clark says Hutchinson has short arms and runs a prostitution ring. No team should draft him ahead of the Giants.
That's right.
New York Giants 22. Oh, I got you. Oh, he's talking to him.
Right.
Allegedly. Joseph Clark says allegedly runs a prostitution ring. It's a privilege to be a part of this stream, yo.
Man, it's a privilege for having you watch, man.
Thank you. Exactly. Tudo says all bad teams with losing season fucked up caps are a result of moron ownership, management, and coaches. We're all grateful for being employed by smart and generous ownership who cares about the players and the team. Punk ass Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis soft. Facts, Tone. What I Cam gonna do in the top 4? What if I Cam going in the top 4? Who would you pick the 5th? Well, it depends on who's left out of that. Who was the top 4 picked?
Right.
I'm not saying you're crazy, Pat, but Kayvon Thibodeau has so much more upside than Karlaftis. Karlaftis is at his ceiling. Says Stephen Bloom says. Now, Blaze the Kid 12. What up, guys?
Hey, Blaze.
What's good, Steven? All right. I like Karlaftis. Excuse my spelling, LOL. But I see him as just a 4-3 and he rushed consistently from a 2-point stance. Maybe I need to watch some film on him.
Yeah, watch a little bit of.
And then it's time to trade Anthony Davis. I'm sorry. And then Tudo super chat for $10, which I can't bring up because it's Pat's stream. Says NYG should put me in charge of signing. Oh, I read that already.
Yeah, you read that.
All right. So Joseph Clark at NYG22. That's a conversation between them. Don't need to read that. Do you think it's possible to walk away with Ecam and Kayvon?
Yeah, but
that's possible. It's possible.
It all depends on how the draft falls.
And how bad somebody really wants a quarterback.
Right. Stephen Bloom says, I doubt it. Levance says, Tudo's the man. Yes, he is. Brother Pat, King Tone with a smiley face. Steven wants to know if you fell asleep again, Lou. No,
I went to go heat up this pizza that I'm chewing on right now.
There you go. Oh, pizza. That sounds good. I got some boneless chicken wings in the refrigerator. Oh, Pat saying the power surge and what facts at Tudo. Missed the person, not the player. Levance, Joseph Clark, Tudo, True NYG 22. Pat was about to go in. Yeah, he was. Stephen Bloom, if we cut Bradbury, cornerback is certainly on the table. It might be second, third round. And then NYG 22 at Joel, you guys would flip shit if they went QB. So let's be honest here.
I definitely would.
Yeah,
I
would.
Pissed because we have way more needs than that.
Flash.
Because if we go QB right now, we're still bringing another QB in here with a shitty offensive line.
Yep.
So what are you expecting that QB to do?
Flash.
Besides get hurt and
please
throw picks.
no spamming.
What the fuck is that?
That's all spamming. The Flash, he's putting in wings. You know what the Flash does? Runs around the room. Giants Opinion Sports. Flash needs to flash his ass up out of here, right?
Who's got a wrench? Hit
You.
Squad, are you here? Wales, anybody?
GOS. Tudo wants GOS to come on the panel. I got one. We appreciate you being here, Flash, but please no spamming. There.
Never heat up pizza in the microwave. Always
No,
got to do it. Always got to do it with an oven or a toaster oven. Microwave kills a fucking pizza.
Yes, it does. Makes it rubbery, like eating an eraser. Eric says, I think the draft will filled with surprise. I agree, Eric Johnson. I do think this is going to be a really different draft, and it's not going to go the way the experts are saying.
Yep. We're going to end up being more right than them. Watch.
Danny says you got to fix the O-line before taking another QB, or we have the same problem again. We agree with that. Giants Opinion. Hey, Joseph, Stephen Bloom's got to call it a night. Have a good one, fellas. Stephen, man, thanks for being here. We appreciate you.
Yeah, for real, bro. You're a great supporter. You're always here, always bringing up hot takes and hot topics. Thank you.
Lal Coos says, what if we take O-line with both picks? I'm not going to be upset at that either. I'm
damn sure not going to be upset. But, I mean, I still feel that we need to trade at least one of them first 2 picks back.
Giant Opinion Sports. This says the wife just fell asleep. I got to start getting over here earlier. It's all good. You made it. We appreciate you being here. Levant says Facts G Nation. Giants Opinion Sports. We need Tudo on the panel. We would love to have Tudo on the panel, but unfortunately his contract and everything, he would get fined big money for doing that. So maybe one day though, in the future, maybe we can get him on the panel. Mike Nixon. All right, guys, have a good night. Joel and Lou. Mike, man, thanks for being here. We appreciate your support. Great supporter of our channels.
Hell yeah.
Very knowledgeable guy. I love having him on the streams. AK's back.
AK, what's up?
NYG22. I was just saying there will be fans upset no matter what they do. Not going to go into the quarterback convo again.
Right.
Skylar Shaw, what's good? Thanks for joining us. Joseph, thank you very much for everything. Appreciate the super chat. Much love, much respect. You have a good night too. Then Skylar wants to know, y'all think Thibodeau will fall to 5 and Ike I'm taking before 5? That could be a possibility. It's sounding like it is, but the combine's really going to be the tell-all. Because what if Karlaftis jumps ahead of Thibodeau? Because
you guys don't hear me chewing, do you?
I can't hear shit anyway, so. Night Joseph from Levant, Eric Johnson. Like I said before, you guys should be on NFL ESPN. Now we got our own stuff right here, and we don't have to worry about anybody else. Hey, Big Pat's back. Woo!
Hey.
Says, see you, buddy. Eric Johnson, good night. Danny says at 6 a.m. woke up. You guys are the best. Peace. Danny, thank you for being here.
Can you highlight that super chat from Tudo?
He got it.
Did I?
Yeah.
The hell is Flash?
No, he didn't.
Yeah, I did highlight this.
Yeah,
okay.
he highlighted that one.
Okay, all right.
I know.
But this is why I love these two guys. They held it down for me after I had a power surge. I don't know where that power surge came from, but
and we caught all the chat back up.
Yeah, we did too.
I forgot what I was talking about, but
good. Catch the chat up.
Yeah.
Where are we at in the chat?
Thibodeau in New York is box office by Giants Opinion Sports.
11:38 p.m.
Right.
Oh, y'all caught all the way up there.
Oh, yes, we did. We went right through everybody, damn it. Everybody got their voices heard.
That's what we do here with the Big Blue Crew. We need you guys to come in and Voice your opinions because we know you guys have things to say. Even if I'm not here, these guys are gonna hold it down for me just like I would do for them, man. I appreciate that so much.
No problem.
But yeah, the whole Thibodeau situation, I'm not mad if we get him, but I won't be mad if we don't get him. That's the main way I could put it. But we've touched on some topics tonight. And damn it, I said we weren't going 3 hours and it's trying to sneak up there.
Yeah, 2:10. I see that. I was getting ready to peace out.
I'm fucking exhausted.
Right.
Right.
Well, I do apologize to the chat. I did have a power surge, so I wasn't here for like the last 10 minutes. Hit Squad, man, thank all you guys in the chat. Thank everybody who supported with the super chats, man. You guys are the reason why Big Pat Sports Talk was able to get to 1,000 subscribers. Gnation Inside Sports is coming right behind me. He's going to be at 1,000 very soon in the coming weeks. Classified 3F with Joe, no secrets here, and there's no secret. He will be at 1,000 very soon.
He'll be coming around the mountain when he comes.
When she comes.
Yeah. I'm at 279, guys. I'm 21 away from 300.
And we will get you to 300 before the draft. For sure.
I got over 2,300 watch hours.
That's actually pretty damn good, though. Only 79 subscribers.
Right.
That's damn good.
Right.
But hey, GOS, man, no problem, bro. You always support the channel, and I'll be loving you guys breakdowns. And when you do breakdowns like how me and Joe do breakdowns. You go into it. You don't watch highlights. I love his breakdowns.
Loving watching this film.
NYG, thank you very much as well, bro.
Yes.
NYG, man, I love going back and forth with you. Pause. But you have great takes as well, man. He says, I think the Jets, Texans, and Jags all need O-line, so there's a chance that both tackles will be gone. I think the Giants might need to pivot towards free agency to get that right tackle. Who would you target? Morgan Moses. I've been talking about this guy for over 3 months. I think Morgan Moses, he's not the greatest right tackle, but he's damn sure better than Nate Solder, whatever will be. So I'm just Morgan Moses, NYG. Unless you're willing to pony up the money for the right tackle from the Saints or the right tackle from the Patriots. We took a right tackle from the Patriots before, it didn't work out, so I'm kind of skeptical about it.
Don't the Colts have a guy? Or is that an interior guy?
That's an interior guy.
Interior. Because there's going to be some quality interior linemen in the third, fourth rounds. Really good interior offensive linemen.
I think they do go right tackle in free agency, to be honest with you.
I'm thinking.
Skyler, thank you for showing up, bro. He says, how do y'all think Dabo and Kafka are going to mesh/blend their philosophies together to make a credible offense? They're already working on that right now, and I don't see them having an issue coming up with something creative. I think they're both ready to work with each other, and I think they both know they need to tailor what they did, because Daniel Jones is not Josh Allen and he's not Patrick Mahomes. So you can't just come in and say, we're going to run a Chiefs scheme, because Patrick Mahomes makes a lot of things happen in that Chiefs scheme. You can't just say we're going to run a Bills scheme, because Josh Allen has grown as a quarterback tremendously, and he did things for that Bills offense. But I think there's going to be a mixture of both, which could be very deadly for whoever the quarterback will be. If he shows to be a franchise quarterback in this system, I think it's going to be very deadly if they get that quarterback. Hopefully it could be Daniel Jones. I'm not banking on it, but I hope the kid succeeds, man, because the kid is Teflon. He's taken shit since he's been drafted, and he's the hardest worker on the team. So let's put an offensive line in front of him.
Yep.
And hopefully his weapons can stay healthy. Hopefully he can stay healthy, and let's see what he does. That's the only thing I want to see with the kid. At least give me that. That's the very least I can ask. Let's see what the kid can do with a competent offense.
And on that note, Pat. Oof.
Yeah, on that note, we've gone 2 hours and 15 minutes. We're all a little tired. We all work very hard. We all push out content very well. Shout out to having over 55 people in the chat tonight. Almost 60 people in the chat tonight.
Thank you.
You guys are amazing. And shout out to Classified 3F with Joe and Gnation Inside Sports for holding me down and getting all these comments and making sure you guys' voices are heard. That's what we do with the Big Blue Crew, man. We're all a crew. Your voice will be heard. We'll answer your questions with our opinion, and we're always going to take your guys' opinion to thought. And that's how we're going to keep bringing you this content, because we want you to see it too, and we want you to comment on things as well.
Skylar,
Subscribe
sorry you didn't get notified.
Right.
Maybe
unsubscribe
and reskype. I know sometimes that works. Make sure that bell's clicked.
Mm-hmm. But
I've had to do that.
Overall, do you guys have any last things? What I want you to do is plug your channels and plug whatever you have to plug, man, before we get out of here.
Monday nights, I do
what
my
I like to plug here on live stream. So,
and you know what, man?
Pause.
Now,
yeah.
Lord have mercy.
That wasn't me. He's getting me worked up though. I got story time. I've got story time developing.
This Joe spirit is just getting on everybody, man. What's going on?
Monday nights on my channel at 9:30, I do a mockumentary with these guys. Love to have you guys be there, get your opinions on just some wild takes on the draft. We all see that every year somebody falls, something happens, whether it's with Laramie Tunsil or the Raiders take Cleveland Farrell. There's always that one pick, that one move. You know, the Jets going up for Trubisky. You know, and it's just something to have fun with. It's to just get off of this topic, you know, and think about, well, God, what if Jacksonville follows the Bengals plan?
He has to wake up first before we can talk to him and find out.
Oh, man, did he get knocked out?
Oh, man. But me and Pat, we're going to have a video popping out here, probably Friday, Saturday?
Yeah, probably Friday.
Friday?
I didn't know you guys were expecting.
Yes.
So we're going to have a video popping out.
Hey, man.
That wasn't Roadhead, okay? That was... Jesus Christ. I'm going to get Pat mad at me.
We can't even talk on the stream. Is this what this has become?
Oh, I didn't do it.
No more. No,
right.
Oh, shit. No, man. Thank you guys for rocking with us. Thank you guys for always being here, lighting up the comment section. You know, just being a part of what we're trying to grow here. And we're going to keep banging out content for you guys and coming up with ideas and creative ways to bring you guys the news, updates, rosters, give you our opinions, deal with your feedback as well. And just keep coming back. We'll keep getting better, and hopefully this thing will grow into something that more people will take notice of. But until next time, guys, support the Big Blue Crew. Be kind to your parents and your loved ones. You never know when you're going to see them again.
Oh, Kai Vance, thank you for showing up, man. Hit that like and subscribe button for everybody. Kai Vance, KYV Ace. So I don't know if it's Kai Ace or Kai Vance.
Could be Kiv Ace.
Kiv Ace.
Yeah,
Kiv Ace. KYV.
Kivachi.
Hopefully I'm saying your name right.
Kivachi.
It could be a lot of things. But hopefully one of us got it right.
Right.
But please hit that like and subscribe button.
And hopefully we didn't butcher it too bad. Don't get mad at us.
Yeah.
We try to show everybody respect. At least get your name right.
Right.
And tune in to the next episode. Right. But last thing I just want to say, man, Kiv Ace. Okay. Hey, I was right.
Yeah. We'll remember you.
We'll remember you. I remember that logo.
Me too.
Facts.
But that's a cool logo. That's cool as shit, Kiv Ace.
Yeah, it is.
But I just want to say, man, I appreciate the team that we built here. These three gentlemen here. We built the Big Blue Crew. I appreciate you guys, man. We have each other's back through thick and thin. And one thing I just got to say, man, if you want success in life, man, just work hard at it.
Oh, Alex. Oh.
And treat people the way that you want to be treated. What's going on, Alex? I mean, treat people the way you want to be treated, most definitely. And don't let anybody deter you from your goals. Don't let anybody say anything about you that make you feel bad about you having success, because that's BS. Don't let anybody deter you from your goals. Shoot for your goal. If your goal, I don't care what your goal is. Because when you accomplish that goal, it's something inside of you that feels so good when you accomplish that goal. And then it's even better when you have people behind you who have a common goal with you, and I want to see you succeed, just like I want to see them succeed. Do unto others as you want others to do unto you.
Yes.
It's one of the main rules of life. And if you do that, you may be able to live everlasting life once you leave this life. But until then, peace.
That's right. Be a woodsman. Save a tree. Eat a beaver.
And get some roadhead on the way home.
Get some.